The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, dear listener, welcome. You are listening to the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more. And that is called doing a little bit of housekeeping. 0344 499 1000. Everyone's welcome to call this evening. We had new callers only last night. Tonight, that rule is gone. Everybody is absolutely welcome. The phone number is 0344 499 1000. We will call you back. And I've got a little bit of paper with my show written on it, and I've lost the little bit of paper, so that's gone. Mark Mason's here, though. Good evening, Mark.
Evening, Ian. How is
now,
it?
You are regretting, I would imagine, you're seeing a man fall apart in front of your very eyes.
I'm enjoying it. I'm not regretting it.
You are thinking, I've come on here to plug my new book, and God damn it, this is a really ramshackle.
This is fun. This is drawing them in. The human drama of what's happened in the last 30 seconds.
Mention the new book in a bit. Now, I said last night that normally we only get people in if I've read their books and enjoyed them, right? I've not even seen this book. I don't know if this book exists.
You've been sent a copy. Did the copy not arrive?
No.
Oh,
mate, I've not even...
You cannot get the stuff.
I have not even... I'm going to click on it and order it.
You cannot get the stuff. I'm now looking at...
I've lost my...
get a copy? No?
I haven't got a copy. We didn't get sent a copy, did we? Outrageous.
Let me...
I've not got my sheet of paper with the show written on. Could you see if it's out there, please? Thank you. So I'm taking a punt on you, Mark.
I'm checking in the bag now to see if there's a bag.
I'm taking a punt on you because, listen, your previous books I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed a lot. I've giggled. I've got frustrated. I've enjoyed them. This one could be a turkey, for all we know. This one could be an absolute stinker.
That's what I've aimed for, just to try and break the, just to do something different.
We had this guy on Twitter last night. And this show's rubbish. When is Talk Radio going to sack you? And we can see his history. And for the last 18 months, he's been tweeting, this show's rubbish. When are they going to sack you? So I kind of engaged with him. I said, man, why are you going to listen? He said, I'm listening because I'm hoping that one day you're going to up your game. So I replied, I'm going to continually lower my game until you go away.
He wants you to go high, you go low.
Yeah, I'm going low.
You've taken Michelle Obama's message and turned it 180 degrees. I like that.
Because we've had you in before, remind the listener of the previous hits in the Mark Mason...
The previous hits? Well, I think
catalogue.
the first time we spoke was on a different station. We spoke on Auntie. About, I think it was a Land's End to John O'Groats book, where I went from Land's End to John O'Groats by local bus.
No, I don't think it was.
Wasn't it?
Wasn't it the Underground book?
Was it that one? I've got a memory that, because the Underground book, then the Land's End to John O'Groats book, then the book about postcodes. Stick with us, listeners. I know I'm a nerd, so that stops me being a true nerd. One fact per postcode area of the UK.
Let's work this out mathematically. We spoke about the postcode book here, he said, looking to Catherine.
Yes.
Responsible.
That was 2 years ago.
We spoke about the postcode book here.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
Did we speak? When did the bus book?
2 years before that, and
So
I've got
4
a
years
memory
ago.
of that being the other station.
Because we had you on. This is what a terrible start to a show, but also my favourite start to the
We're
show.
really going low. I'm helping you go low here.
We
Ian.
had you on at Three Counties, but that was to talk about funerals.
Yes. Yes, that was bizarre. And you know what? I love that because you didn't know. You didn't know until we were on air. I was doing it down the line. You didn't know until it was me. Because Kath had set it up and she said you were discussing it anyway, and I'd happened to have a piece in The Spectator about funerals because we just buried my partner's father. And I'd written this piece saying it costs a fortune to have a funeral, and they're useless. For instance, the funeral directors that did her father, the little booklet that you get at the funeral that everyone reads, I'm printed on expensive white card, said to commemorate, and it gave his name and his dates. He died on the date, aged 82 years. Oh. They'd missed the Y off years. Oh. And then Catherine, I said, do you want to come? Yes, of course. So I went on and we were talking about it. And as you were looking at the screen going, hang on, is this Mark Mason? Yeah. And I remember that, yes.
It was.
But that wasn't a book. That was a piece.
That was a life experience.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, so we also spoke when I filled in for Robert Elms on BBC
now
London.
that would have been, if that was 2013, I'm sure, and that was the Land's End to John O'Groats book.
It must have been then.
And I've got a memory that afterwards we spoke off air, and you said, and I told you about the London book, and you said, "Oh, I'd like to read that." And I think we sent
We're
you
in.
that. And,
We're in. We've connected.
That's it.
That is called research into a guest. Right, we didn't get a free copy of your book,
which is embarrassing
for everybody.
Let's be honest, it's embarrassing for my publicist at Weidenfeld Nicholson. If you're listening, Kate,
you're fired.
Come on.
The book is called...
Get it together.
Let me just say, I'm reading the title for the first time. Question Time, A Journey Around Britain's Quizzes. I'm going to order this now.
No, don't. No. You're not.
But I'm going to order a second-hand one.
Is there really a second-hand one on Amazon already?
There is for £3.51. That's outrageous.
Wow, that's quick work. That's only been on the shelves for 3 days.
Somebody that devoured it so quickly.
I think that's unlikely.
Or just read a page of it and went,
this is terrible.
Geez.
Yeah.
This is not... This is. I was talking about Robin Day. What is this?
You thought you were going low. You should read this book.
Give us the gist. The gist, please.
The gist, the gist of the core is that it's yet another deeply intellectual travel book. I think the listeners by now grasp the nature of my travel books. They are doing flippant little exercises. Like my London book, I walked the whole tube system overground. Yeah. My Land's End to John O'Groats book, I did by local bus. Yeah. So you get the bus from one town to the next. So it's 46 local buses. I love that. And then for the last one, my editor and I said we needed an excuse just to go around Britain, to cover the whole of Britain. So we did it by postcode area. Yeah. There's 124 postcode areas, one fact per area. This one is going around the country in a different way. I just went around going to loads of different quizzes, because I love quizzes. I love decent quiz questions. Yeah. We're going to get to the Beatles one soon. Thank you. And so I went to a pub quiz in Edinburgh. I went to the House of Commons press gallery quiz. You don't know the meaning of the word competitive until you've seen a load of political journalists trying to beat each other. And parties. The SNP were there, the Tories had a party, Labour had a party. It was the most alpha male atmosphere I've ever been in. So, I don't really like quizzes. No. Because if I don't win, I'm not interested. And if you find yourself... I don't know if you know this, Mark. I have won Celebrity Mastermind. They dumb it down ever so slightly, but I still beat Scott Mills, a Nolan, and Jimmy McGovern. A Nolan, I like that.
It was a Nolan. And I beat Jimmy McGovern. He was highbrow.
What was his subject?
This was his problem. His subject, I don't remember exactly, but it was like ships from 1500 to 1800 or something. Pretty big. It was 300 years.
And
you're
doing the Monkeys, weren't you?
I did the Monkeys. That's 3 years. Yeah. The Nolan did the movies of Frank Sinatra. He's been in about 120 movies. So you got it's
too broad.
Pick a.
Do you know what I didn't know until of Question Time of Mastermind until I researched the book. The book's called Question Time. The program's called Mastermind. Yeah. Was that how the original Mastermind came about? Do you know how it was invented?
Hang on. Whoa. When you say the original Mastermind, do you mean the television quiz?
The Magnus one,
You don't mean... Because there was that weird board game
with the bloke
and the Chinese lady.
With the Chinese woman standing behind him, and that was surreal.
I had that.
You get that at Christmas.
It was code, wasn't it? It was different.
It was a great game.
But what was the Chinese woman to do with it?
But you get it. I remember my sister got it for Christmas, and we all thought, "Oh, this isn't like the television."
No. Where's Magnus Magnus?
Because they've brought. This is what I noticed the other day. In the 70s and 80s, you'd get board games of like Bob's Full House or the Generation game, and I was in John Lewis today looking for. I was going to buy a suit. No, it wasn't John Lewis. It was House of Fraser, and they had. Catchphrase, the catchphrase board game with Stephen Mulhern on the front. Say what you see. Well, I thought that was great. I'm glad they're bringing it. Anyway, how was the original Mastermind coming about?
It was because a bloke had been captured by the Nazis. The BBC producer that came up with it remembered being questioned, interrogated by the Nazis. Black room, light on you. And you only have to give 3 pieces of information under the Geneva Convention. You famously only have to give your name, rank and serial number. So that's where he got the idea for name, occupation,
that's
specialist,
why in the
subject.
first series they were allowed to smoke and Magnus Magnuson had a Luger. Now that makes sense.
Actually, you're getting closer to the truth than you think, because in the credits for the first couple of series, Magnus Magnuson wasn't presenter, he was interrogator. That's what he was credited as. So that's how it came up.
Isn't that funny?
I know. So there's all that sort of stuff.
I don't think Humphreys has got this. Magnus, I'm assuming, has died quite some time ago.
No, I don't think he has, you know.
Has he not?
Oh, this is where... Come on, Wikipedia.
Am I allowed to Google this?
Well, we don't always allow
I think
Google.
he's dead. I'm guessing
I don't
yes.
think he has,
Yeah,
you know.
wasn't he a brother? Or am I thinking of
You're
the
thinking.
Werther?
You're thinking.
There was Sally, his daughter.
Yeah.
Was dead.
Sorry.
No.
Was.
When did he die?
2007.
No. Been dead for 10 years.
When did? Can you? While we're looking at famous dead Magnuses, when did Magnus Pike die? I'm good. Let's see if me and Mark work out. But don't say the number out loud. When did Magnus Pike? By the way, if you can think of any more famous dead Magnuses, 0344 499 1000.
I've got a memory of because he was beaten. You remember he was burgled, and the burglars beat him up. And I think he only lasted a few months after that.
In my head, I've got a picture of Seth Armstrong now, and it won't go away. Okay, I'm gonna write down.
Are we doing this as a tiebreaker? This is great.
Do you want to write down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just so that we know we're not cheating.
All right.
I do love a tie. I'll do you the Titanic rivets tiebreaker in a moment. You think Magnus Pike is?
I've got it. All right.
I'm going for this year. Okay.
Ready, steady, go. You've gone 1994. I've gone 1999.
I can reveal that neither of you are right.
Yeah.
But Mark is closer.
Oh, go on.
1992, 19th of October.
well
he
done.
died the same year as Benny Hill and Frankie Howard. 1992 deaths, and Benny Hill died.
Yes.
Without anyone knowing. He was at home and he collapsed and died. And it was days before anyone. And I think it was a Good Friday that Frankie Howard died.
Yep.
So the usual journalists are ringing around getting quotes from everyone. They try and get hold of Benny Hill and they can't.
Yeah.
And the reason that he was the agent went round and broke into his house was because she was alarmed that no one could get hold of him for a quote about Frankie Howard. And he died at the same time.
So far, dear listener, we have got, as you're phoning, I see Dom's on the line. We'll come to him in a minute. When we will talk about the bookmark, I promise. I know that's what you're here for, but this is why I love having you on, because the tangents.
Remind me, we've got to do the Beatles question and we've got to do the Titanic rivets tiebreaker.
Beatles, Titanic.
In fact, let's do the Titanic rivets now, because then we can keep that going. And
okay.
My favourite tiebreaker when I host a quiz myself, if you'd put all the rivets from the Titanic together, how much would they have weighed?
Oh, weight. Well, I'm not very good at weights. In what measurement system would you like it?
Imperial measurement, the one that we grew up with. But if I give you a clue as to how many then you'll sort of have a...
Okay. Are you going to give us a clue? Or not?
Well, do you want me to give you a clue?
No. Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
We'll have a think. We're also looking for... if you know a famous dead Magnus, phone up, give us his name. We'll try and guess what year he died. And also, we normally do this on a Thursday, but we can do the Sam Fox quiz tonight, where you phone up and you ask us a Sam Fox question. 0344 499 1000. Dom, stay there. Come to you after this.
After hours amusement for anarchists, air hostesses, and jet-lagged Antipodeans.
G'day, coppers. Can I crash on your floor?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
It didn't take long. We're talking about the Beatles. You told me there was a really good Paul McCartney biography that came out last year.
Yes, with that's the one top there.
Is it good? Because
it's great. I know a lot about Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
and there was stuff in there that I didn't know. And do you know what? It finally convinced me what I thought of him. And I think the defining characteristic: you cannot criticise the man's work. He's obviously a genius.
He's brilliant.
There's just always been that little element in there that, and this goes pre-fame.
Yeah.
What's in this for Paul McCartney has always been that's the first thought in any situation he's found himself in. And And it's, you know, the fame that man has had.
Yeah.
I think he's coped with. You've met people who've been as famous as that and who haven't coped with it very well.
Oh, yeah.
He has coped with it better than almost anyone I can
Yeah.
think of. But still, there's just that little element of the sort of self-regard the whole time. And what proved it to me was his first girlfriend.
Yeah.
Her mother. He's apparently got very hairy legs, Paul McCartney, and had, even at this age, I think we're talking 16 or 17.
Wow.
You're getting something from that, aren't you?
This is incredible.
And he always used to say to Vi, the girlfriend's mother,
Yeah.
would you comb my legs for me?
Oh, jeez!
Just to, not just as a way of sort of showing. And she used to get really annoyed, apparently. He always used to bum fags off her, and he would never buy his own fags. And when he came round years later, post-fame, before she'd let him in the house, she said, go to the corner shop and buy a packet of cigarettes. You're not coming in the house unless you've got your own cigarettes.
Well, McCartney and Ray Davies, famously the tightest men in rock. And McCartney, I've heard stories of McCartney in the Beatles days going. Ray Davies would famously hold the door open for the pub, so everyone would go in. So he'd be at the back and get the round in. Or McCartney go, right lads, who wants a drink? You want that? I want that? All right, Brian, can you lend us a £5? and this is how these people are rich: is they never spend their money.
Rod Stewart as well. Have you read Rod Stewart's autobiography? While you're ordering, get back on Amazon.
I've got it. I've not read it. Apparently it's a corker. Yeah, isn't it?
It's a corker. My favourite bit. This is not. There's the same thing in there about him being tight. He says he gives. There's 2 or 3 different tricks. There's the holding the door open so everyone goes in the pub.
Yep.
There's also bending over to do your shoelaces up on the way in the car park on the way into the pub so everyone else is. But. I love Rod Stewart. The man's a genius. He said to his mother,
I'd have to disagree.
Really?
Rod Stewart is a genius.
I think he's in his own way. He's defined what, and it's some great songs early on. You know,
He's done some good songs. He's got far for being a short shagger. I wouldn't say genius. Genius is stretching it a little bit.
Okay, I think you're right. Actually, I take it back, Your Honour. I think genius might be stretching it.
Yes.
But I love him. He's just got that lovability.
I can't knock that, yeah.
And my favourite bit was talking about when Maggie May, that was the big hit that made him a stupid amount of money. So much money, 1971, the year we were born. You're younger than me. You're 70. Oh, hello.
The year you were born, mister.
You're a year younger. No, you're 2 years younger.
I'm 73, mate, please.
Sorry. I've done you out of 2 years. I do apologise.
No free book. He's making me older than I am. This is outrageous.
1971, before some of us were born.
Yes.
Before everyone in the studio was born apart from me.
Yes, that's true.
Just to point it out. I'm not getting any dodgy looks from her as well as you. I'm not going to alienate everyone else in the room.
No.
Maggie May's made a stupid amount of money, so much so that his agent, his accountant says to him, Rod, you've got to go and buy a house for £60,000. No, you've got to go and buy a house for £100,000. Otherwise, the taxman's going to have it.
Wow.
They couldn't find a house for £100,000 to buy. It was 1971.
Yeah, of course.
And so he's got that much money floating around. That Christmas, he said to his mum, he said, look, Mum, can I please treat you to something stupidly expensive? I've got all this money. Please, for everything you've ever done for me, please can I buy you a really, really expensive present?
Yeah.
He twisted her arm a bit and she said, all right, I'll go and have away and have a think about it. She came back. She said, I've decided I want a new bread bin. Don't you love her for that?
Isn't that fantastic? Good for her.
How have we gone to Rod Stewart? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Mark Mason is the extra, the spare, not spare, the extra, the bonus voice that you're hearing. And there's a new book, Question Time, a journey round Britain's quizzes. Give us the Beatles question. Then we're going to speak to Dom, and then we'll talk a bit more about your actual journey.
Okay, the journey I've been on.
Yeah.
I've been on a journey. The Beatles question I thought of this afternoon. Something reminded me of this fact. Turn it into a question. Which Beatles song was inspired by the catering, the in-flight catering, on a plane journey from Kenya to London?
Okay, that's a great question. That is a great question.
Do you think you can work your way to it?
I can work it.
Have you got it?
No, I haven't got it, but
Okay.
I can work. Here's a question for you, and I can't remember the answer, I'll say now. Which is the first Beatles song? And we'll not take it in the time it was recorded. It would the first Beatles song in terms of release, and that might mean that it's, track 3 on side 1 of an album, as opposed to, which was the first Beatles song that didn't feature the title in it.
Great question.
It is a great question. I did know the answer because at college once we got really stoned and we sat there and we worked it and we went through every single one and we worked it out. The first Beatles song that they don't sing the title.
It's not This Bird Has Flown, is it?
Well, here's the thing. It could be. I can't.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Well, we can Google that.
I can't.
That must be pretty easy to Google.
I can't remember the answer.
Shortest Beatles song? That was a great Eric Walker.
The shortest Beatles song. I'm going to say Martha, My Dear, but it's not. It's on. It'll be on the White Album, won't it?
No.
No?
It's on the last album.
Oh, Her Majesty.
Yeah,
there we go. There we go. There we go. Thank you.
But anyway,
yes, Beatles song.
You see, I think you can. There's a clue I can give that might make it too easy for you, but the listeners who aren't quite as sad
Screw
about
those
the
losers.
Beatles.
Hey, put your headphones on. Down
Okay.
right there. There's a, if you follow the cable, there's a volume control.
it'll be loud. It'll be dead loud.
But Dom is here. Good evening, Dom.
Good evening. You all right?
I'm all right, Dom. Yes. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Dom. How's it going? But you've answered that already. Sorry.
Everyone's all right.
Everyone is okay. Let's get to the
kids
meat.
are all right.
Yes.
Big fan of your books, Mark. I've got them all apart from this last one, which Iain was supposed to get for me. And
Well, we haven't got it either, Dom. So
In fact, listen, Dom phoned me up the other week and said, "Can you get us a free copy of the book?" We haven't even got them, Dom. I've got to buy my own copy.
Dom, I'm so sorry. Someone's going to get the rocketing of their life.
Don't worry about that. But no, Dom, there's no book for you, mate.
Fair enough. I'll buy it then.
Is that it? You just phoned up to sound miserable?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, come on then. Bloody hell. You know how a phone conversation works.
Bloody hell, you're not the only one who's had a week off. Tomorrow Never Knows. Is that the song you're thinking of?
Nope. I don't think it is Tomorrow Never Knows, no.
Earlier
that's one I have to go.
Well, it might be on. This is what I'm saying. It might be on the same album, but listed before. I think it's a. Look, Kath's bored out of her brain.
I'm not bored out of my brain. I'm just.
I'm supposed to be googling.
I think it's a George.
What do I Google? Right.
Beatles-
He started doing the question about half an hour ago.
first
Beatles songs without the title.
The first Beatles. Just Google it. The first Beatles song where they do not sing the title in it. Question mark.
Okay.
I'm asking
Well, there's
Mark
obvious.
for a
If
question.
it's yeah, no, no. Does Dom think he's got which Beatles song?
I
was
don't
inspired
know.
by?
Dom won't speak. I don't know what's going on with the man. Dom, what do you want?
It's going to break down.
Well, I honestly thought the first song was going to be Tomorrow Never Knows because I can't remember any lyrics in that. Or Blue Jay Way because it's instrumental.
No, Blue Jay Way isn't an instrumental.
Isn't it?
There's a rock up on a hill.
Oh, I always get it. Yeah.
Terrible song. Please get to the point of this call, because I'm losing the will to live, man.
Mark Mason.
Dom.
All your books are about travelling around the UK.
Hmm.
Don't you like staying at home? Have you found out your missus or something?
Absolutely, yeah. That's the only
Excellent.
reason I do this, yeah. It's, do you know what? I started doing this even before I started writing the book. I realised when cheap flights came in, when you could start flying to the other side of Europe for 20 quid and all that sort of stuff, it was a case of, we stopped exploring our home country. And I think even before that, there was just this element of laziness in most of us. There will be somewhere within 20 miles of where you live that you keep meaning to go to, some National Trust place or some museum or, a bit of curious building or whatever it is, that you never get around to doing. So I started doing it even before I started writing the books. And then having done the books, there is so much great stuff out there. I mean, you must know stuff about... What's your manor, Dom? Where do you live?
Manchester.
That's right. Okay. Oh, well, I went there for the last book, for the Postcoast book, and yeah, there's beautiful stuff there. About the first guy to fly from London to Manchester, the Daily Mail competition, and then it was pre-First World War, I think, and he was the first guy, and he followed the train tracks he flew over the train tracks between London and Manchester to find his way, and where he landed is somewhere in Fallowfield. Because I was at university in Manchester, it would have been near my halls of residence in Manchester.
There you go, Dom.
And there's a road named after him.
Does that answer your question, Dom? Thanks for calling. My sister's wrong. She's saying the answer to your question is back in the USSR, which is not. That's
afraid,
wrong.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
We know that's
Your
wrong.
sister's wrong.
That's incorrect data.
Shall I give the extra little clue now?
No, because I want to. It was inspired by a meal.
It was inspired by the in-flight catering.
Yes.
I could get a little bit more specific.
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Let's stick with that. Does Dom think he's got this?
No, he's gone. Dom's
He's
gone.
got it, right.
We're
Hang on a second. So just give us this question one more time, because I want to get this. I'm not
Which
gonna
the version that we're going with at the moment, before we get more specific, which Beatles song was inspired by the in-flight catering on a plane journey from Kenya to London?
Right, OK. So this is going to be something... OK, all right, we can work this out. OK. It could be... It's not going to be an early album. Kenya. That's going to be about 65, 66. So you're looking at your Rubber Souls, but I'm going to push the Rubber Soul to one side. You're looking at Revolver. That's
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm just working it out. You're looking at You're looking at something post-Revolver. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant to say there. So you're looking at a post-Revolver
This is
album.
great cold reading you're doing.
No, I'm not. This is what I'm trying to work it out in my old noggin. Let's see if Kyle knows. Kyle, do you know?
I'm just, well, I think I've got a guess for it, but I'd be cheating.
Well, don't tell us then. I don't want any cheating. No cheating, no.
I think, but in terms of the other one, I think the first song where they didn't sing the title, I think it was Tomorrow Never Knows.
No. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Right, let's go. Well, we're going to have to go through every
I've
bloody...
got 3.
What have you got?
Tomorrow Never Knows.
Yep.
Day in the Life.
Nope.
Ballad of John and Yoko. Beelzebub.
There's more than that. There's a couple of Georgie ones. No.
Well, Tomorrow Never Knows was before Thingy, wasn't it?
Right.
Definitely.
Before, the Peppers track. Within You Without You.
Yeah, but that's not that's right. Okay, hang on.
Why don't you just get the albums up with the track
This
listings?
is exactly what I'm going to do.
There we go. Great
Beatles
minds.
albums track listing. Right. Okay.
While you concentrate on that, just to restore Ian's Beatles credentials, I emailed him the other week and he came straight back with this.
Yep.
The 3 US Beatles number ones that had single word titles.
I got that right.
You did.
I can't remember it now.
Didn't you ask me that the other week?
Yeah, I did.
And your replies were?
Help.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yeah, you said Michelle, didn't you? Yeah.
Is it that one?
Didn't get to number 1, I'm afraid.
Wow, that was a bit crap, isn't it?
These are US number ones, one of which got to number 1 in the UK, and the one in the UK was Help. But there are 2 that got to number 1 in the US that didn't.
In the way she moves.
There you go.
Was it yesterday, I was going to say, for the other one?
Indeed, because it was never released as a single. Well, it wasn't in the 1970s, but in the 60s they didn't release it as a single in the UK, but it did in the US, and it got to number 1.
Okay, thanks, Carl. Right, so I'm on the second album. It's not Meet the Beatles. Are these the American versions? I don't want the... Oh, this is the American versions. I want the English versions. Oh, this is the worst guest we've ever had. Let's go to a break.
Dead of Night discourse for disco queens,
I'm related to Jedward and Dolly Parton.
dairy farmers,
Aye.
and distant fathers.
Yeah, whatever.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
Doing lots of things that we don't know about, we can't control.
on Talk Radio.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, I'm getting wound up now. Mark Mason. I'm annoying myself though, Mark. It's not you. Mark Mason is here. We should talk about your book. Remind us of the title of your book. It is out now. People can go and buy it.
All good bookshops.
Yes.
Quite a few ropey ones as well. It's called Question Time: A Journey Around Britain's Quizzes.
And so, did you go? How many quizzes did you go to?
All in all, going on for about 10. I think I went to a pub quiz in
Hang on,
Edinburgh.
10?
I went to 10 different cities, but
Okay.
different, and there was one that I kept coming back to, which is one in London.
Yeah.
At a pub called the Prince of Wales in Highgate, which is a very good quiz.
Yeah.
And Marcus Berkman, who runs that there, taught me how to write a good question. It should be ones like this that are fun to work on.
Yeah,
aren't. And so a lot of the quizzes, I tell you, one of the quizzes I went to make it a bit different was. I went to a place where they're using an app, a quizzing app. This was a place in Oxford.
Oh, okay.
And you have to get there, download the app get onto the pub's Wi-Fi. Everyone downloads their app, and you take part. And it's fastest
finger first.
Fastest answer.
Oh.
But the nature of an electronic quiz, either one you do online on a newspaper's website or whatever, or one on like the app, is it has to be multi-choice.
Yeah.
Because a lot of answers can be worded in different ways.
Yeah.
And so they have to give you a certain number of options to choose from, and it's just not satisfying.
No.
It's one of those things where I don't think technology is going to come in and help it.
I've had to, for like corporate events, had to host a quiz. I've not put the quiz together, but I've hosted them. And there's that horrible thing of, I think you should be strict and say, right, you can't, if I see anyone with a mobile phone out, then your team is disqualified. But I think not everyone agrees with me on that.
Once in a while you'll see that. But I found, actually, I think it's one of those times... Do you know when we were growing up, even though you're younger than I am,
yep.
There was you can just about remember life before the internet.
Yes.
And there was that thing of if you didn't know something, you didn't know it.
Yep.
You had to wait to find it. You had to go to a library or had to ask someone or ring someone up. And I think we like being put back in that position. We're all addicted to our smartphones now, except in a quiz.
Yep.
There's just this general... It's not British fair play to cheat at a quiz, but apart from that, we like the sort of little self-denial for 15 minutes before the answer's read out. If you're sitting there and you can't think of the third Beatles number one, that's a one-word title,
yes.
You're going... And then the definition of a good question is when it's read out, everyone should go, oh, of course. Like one of my favourite ones, one of the quizzes in the book was... Its official title was Blood-Swept Lands and Seas of Red. How was it better known? How was it more popularly known?
Oh, God, I wouldn't have a clue.
Blood-Swept Lands and Seas of Red. Now, Kath's looking dreamily. She's either bored senseless or she's concentrating.
I'm having a think.
I'm going to be honest. I've not actually been listening to you for the last 5 minutes because I'm still trying to work out this bloody Beatles Kenyan thing. I think it's on the White Album.
No.
Oh, balls. I haven't got a clue then. Go on. I don't know.
Well, the Blood-Swept Lands and Seas of Red
Yeah.
was the official title of the Poppies at the Tower of London.
Oh.
So you think, even if you don't get it, you feel as though you should.
Yes.
You know, there's an element of it's not cheating. And also, a lot of questions, and maybe these are the ones you've been handed at your corporate things, they're just not very interesting questions. A lot of what's the capital of can be, what's the capital of Albania? And I always use this to illustrate what a good question should be, and I can never remember the answer. I keep looking it up, and I keep forgetting it because it's not an interesting fact. Whereas what's the capital of Australia is an interesting question because there's a story behind why it's the capital.
I don't know what... No, because the capital isn't what you think the capital is going to be. Well, what is it?
Canberra.
And you know why?
No.
Oh,
I thought the way you said that, I thought you
I just
got
know it's Canberra.
Yeah. And the reason it's Canberra is that Sydney and Melbourne couldn't agree between themselves which one was going to be the capital. So they built Canberra directly in the middle between the two of them, just to be the capital.
This is one that you'll know, but I just want to... Excuse me. What is the only... Can you name... Right. What is... There is one... I never know how to get in. OK. There is one...
Is this what you do when you're doing it professionally?
No, they give me it to read out. I haven't got the script writers here. OK. What is the... There is one country where the capital has changed from one city to another, and it's an anagram. Have I got this right?
Oh, that's... I don't know this one, but it's a beautiful question.
Maybe I've not got it right then. There's one country where the capital has changed from one city to another, and actually both cities are an anagram of each other.
I don't know.
It's not in Africa, is it?
No.
Because someone told me the other day.
Well, I'm hoping... I think I've got this right now. Can I just Google?
Yeah, go on.
Something.
Have we done the Titanic? I'm lost track of what
I've done
on
rivets
air.
yet.
Not done the rivets, OK.
No, we asked the question and then we
That
both
was it.
looked blank.
Hang on a minute. Let me just make sure this... Let me just check.
The tension.
Have you dreamt this one?
This is the other thing, the tension, the silence that you leave when you read out the answers, like with a deliberately flippant 50-50 question, like the Queen and Prince Philip, in the morning one of them prefers a bath, one of them prefers a shower. Which way round is it? There's no way you can know it, but you have a guess, and then you leave, as you read out the answer to it, you just leave a silence. And trust me, the pub just goes quieter than you've ever heard a pub. And you can hold it for as long. It's like having them in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, I'm going to have this. Go
on.
Yeah. OK, so go on. Come on, guys. There's one country. It's
Is it a well-known country?
It's one of the most well-known countries in the world.
Well, so it's not the States, because that was Washington and... there's been loads of capitals of the States.
Yes. The anagram is...
Winchester and London, so
two
it's not
cities,
us.
Anagram.
And it's not... is it in Europe?
No.
And it's not Australia, because it's only had Canberra.
No.
And so it's not Kyoto and Tokyo, is it?
Yes, it is. And Mark will explain why that was a brilliant question.
Because it's one you should get. It's places you've heard of.
Thank you.
It's not things that you haven't heard of. Oh, it should be something that... You see, I love the ones where you can't possibly know. It's very unlikely you've read the same biography of the Queen as I did, where I learned that thing about whether she has the bath or the shower.
Yeah.
But you...
I imagine she's a bath woman.
Very good. And what's lovely about that is that most people get it right. And they've got different reasons for thinking that Philip has a shower.
Well, he's no nonsense. He hasn't got time.
And also,
he
wouldn't get back out of it if he did get into the bath.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so there's any number of ways you can get to the correct
Imagine
answer.
the Queen in the bath, though.
No, this is tantamount to treason. You're getting close, Iain.
She's got like those big galleon instead of a rubber duck.
You know there's a bath on the Royal Train? There is a bath on... I promise you, clearly, Iain, she doesn't have a bath as it's going along. She's not bouncing through Wolverhampton with the soap suds going on.
Like the Imperial Leather family, do you remember, in space?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, they were good.
The most ridiculously shaped soap in the world. Imperial with the pointy... Why do you want pointy bits on a bar of soap?
And you always ended up with, like, a crappy label still attached to a tiny bit of soap.
Crappy label.
There is...
can I have that bit of paper that you've written 1994?
There is a Turkish word for the little bit of soap that you get at the end of a bar that's too small to carry on using, which is binesk. B-I-N-E-S-K. Someone told me that years ago. And every time I finish a bar of soap now, and it's one of those things where you want to save money. You think, I'm refusing to get rid of this bar of soap until I can... And it's just flying, it's squeezing out between two little fingers, flying off to the other side of the bathroom.
You remember Ronco? And they would make these wonderful machines that would, for example, you could cut they would cut a wine glass and turn it into a vase, but then it was really sharp glass. And they made the Ronco... They made a record clean. Anyway, didn't Ronco make a thing where you could get all these Binesques?
Binesques.
You could get all these Binesques.
And melt them together.
And put them, and it would just sort of squeeze them into one...
How tight would you have to be messing about with that?
I tried it because the guy who told me about Binesque also told me that someone had told me if you could do them in a microwave, you get half a dozen of these things in them, and I tried it. Trust me, it doesn't work.
How are you allowed to save that?
Imagine then you cut that open and it's just full of pubes. That would... Wouldn't it be, though?
My God,
it's
what image.
Disgusting. This is the late night alternative with Iain. We haven't really talked about the book. We will.
Thankfully, we've got him away from the Queen in the bar.
Well, didn't say he was pubes.
You could have been having your
This is the late night alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio, and with time to change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more.
Tales of mystery and imagination on the radio show that does things differently.
Dolly Parton, I listen to her records all day long.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I'm a nut job, but not that kind of nut job.
On Talk Radio.
Honest to God, it's the new Breaking Bad.
Oh, no.
OK, I don't think some people are taking this question, which Beatles song was inspired by the catering on a flight from Kenya.
We've got some good puns going on.
Well, David Cleaver says, was it Norwegian, would you like anything from the trolley?
I like that. I like a bad pun.
Ballad of John and Yoko? Was that? That's not it. OK, well,
I think in that case we might
give us the clue. Give us the bonus clue
to make it slightly easier.
Yeah,
was inspired by the condiments on a flight in the in-flight catering.
No, not Sergeant Pepper.
She's got it.
Shut the front door.
Do you not know that?
No,
I guess they were high.
I've just got the... I've just received the beautiful bit. I relented and bought the whole box set thing. Really?
The Mal Evans, it was McCartney, they'd done Candlestick Park, he'd flown away.
Yeah.
He'd gone off to somewhere, he'd met Mal Evans in France, they got bored, they'd gone on a safari in Kenya, and then the two of them... For those of you, like I say, with lives who aren't as sad as Iain and I are about the Beatles, Mal Evans was their roadie who was...
By the way, let me just position the show and say you're listening to the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change, yes. Mal Evans, terribly tragic figure as well. The ending was awful.
Horrible story.
Shot, gunned down by the police. And then they lost his ashes. Awful. Anyway.
But he and Paul are flying back from Kenya, and... McCartney, by this point, has had the idea for Sergeant Pepper of just the pressure of it. So we want to retire, change the name of the band, use this characters as a front. So they're talking about that. And Mal Evans, they get given their food, and there's a little salt and pepper pot, or maybe packet, with S and P written on. And Mal Evans just has he wasn't a thick guy, he just had a blank moment. And he said, what does the S and P? And McCartney went salt and pepper. And as he said salt and pepper, he had the idea for Sergeant Pepper, SP.
How have I never heard that before? And I was in Mark Lewison's house the other day, and I've never heard
Do you know what
that.
I think? I'm starting to remember I got it from that biography that you've just ordered.
Well, I've just ordered it, mate.
Well, there you go.
But we don't need to sell any more of that, guys.
Let's sell my
Mark Mason, give us the full title again. I'm going to tweet all the links where people can buy it in a second. These books are always a joy to read.
If you want to
devour them.
The Twitter is at Walk the Lines LDN.
Yes.
Website is theimportanceofbeingtrivial.com.
While you're talking, I'm going to type on Twitter so people know where to go.
Oh, bless you. And the title of this one is Question Time, a journey around Britain's quizzes. And it was fun, because I always go to quizzes and I've been to lots of bad ones, lots of good ones. Getting out there...
Theimportanceofbeingtrivial.com.
Trivial.com.
Okay, yeah.
And there's some serious stuff in there as well about discovering your home country and the places I went to. Like I went to Edinburgh, like I say, for this pub quiz, and I didn't know about the Balmoral Hotel until I went there, which is the big hotel next to the train station. There's two beautiful bits of trivia together, physically side by side. Edinburgh Waverley train station is the only train station in the world named after a novel, Waverley by Sir Walter Scott.
So this is why you just want to hang out with this guy, don't you?
And then, could you tell that to my other half? Because she just refused. You see, I come home and tell her this sort of thing. She said, will you shut up? to answer Dom's question, that's why I keep going on the road, Dom, because basically I've got no audience for this at home. Next door to Edinburgh Waverley train station is the Balmoral Hotel. A huge big clock on the front of the building, which they deliberately keep 3 minutes fast to help people catch their trains at the train station next door.
Isn't that
Public
canny?
service. So I discovered that stuff. And it's a few points I get slightly pseudish and talk about. It did remind me of the story of the amniocentesis that my long-suffering, trivia-hating other half had when she was pregnant. She had to have an amniocentesis, which is, for those of you who don't know, when they put a very, very fine needle into the womb through the abdomen to very quickly take out a little sample of the amniotic fluid to do tests on. And so we're there, and it's like a scan. Anyone who's had a normal pregnancy scan, and the doctor was waiting for Barney, as we now know him to be, my son, to go over to one side of the womb so that he could very quickly, on the other side of the womb, away from the fetus, go in and out to get the fluid out. So I said, that was fantastic. I said, do you think the fetus is aware of the needle going into the womb? And he said, yeah. He said, sometimes they try and grab it.
No.
And I went, I cringed. I went, no. And he said, it's fine. As long as they grab the shaft of the needle, it just comes back out of their... It's only if it goes... The point goes into the hand.
Are you making this up? Because this is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my life.
I promise you, this was told to me by the medical professional in charge of this amniocentesis.
Yeah.
And I thought of that as I got to the end of the book, because I thought, what is it that drives us to go to these quizzes? Why are we loving this, the Sgt. Pepper thing? All those little bits of curiosity that are being satisfied all the time. And it's just in our human nature. Yeah. We are curious even before we're born. Even while we're in the womb, something new comes into the environment. We go, what's that? Try and grab it.
But also, I think it's the way it's delivered, that stuff is delivered. Because I did terribly at school. Because it was delivered to me apart from a couple of notable exceptions, and we all have those teachers that most of us have those teachers that we think were great. But I just didn't get it. I didn't like being sat there and being told stuff.
And you were only doing it for exams, and you have to get through the exam and then forget it all.
But whereas if I discover something for myself, or if I find a fact in a book, what was a Mark's book? What was that book? I remember there was a book I was reading, and I just kept coming in the next day saying, "You're never going to believe what I've read." What was it? I can't think. It might have been Mark's book, actually. I think it was the postcode book.
Yeah,
I think it was the postcode book, and it's just that joy of discovering
it's
something.
Very often, if it's a stupid fact or a silly fact or it's giggly or last time I was in the postcode book, I don't know how we got onto pizzas, but we were doing the Beatles, and we got onto Ringo Starr has never eaten a pizza. Yeah, because he doesn't. And then on the train home, someone had tweeted us both the advert that Ringo did
with the monkeys.
Was it Domino's or
it was for Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut. Yeah. And I thought, oh no, this is going to disprove it. And the final shot is Ringo about to get the slices out, and he doesn't eat it. So it's if it's silly, if it's a little image, and also if it satisfies a question that we ask. Yeah. It doesn't occur to you to ask. With Miramax being in the news at the moment, I was reading today about it. I never knew where Miramax got their name. It was the Weinstein's brothers. Their mother was called Miriam, and their father was called Max. So it's half of Miriam.
Isn't it great?
And that sticks in your head because it's memorable. If it's kids, 6 and 7-year-olds. Yeah. This. I think our sons are about
7 and 5, mine.
And it's just all that time. It's why does this happen? How does that happen? And if you answer it with a question that captures an answer that captures their imagination, it's beautiful. And there's something about the education system from secondary school basically, where it's intent on grinding it out of you.
Something that highlights that perfectly is our kids both got obsessions with horrible histories. My kids know more about British history, in fact, worldwide history, than I did at their... now.
We've got the hat trick because mine's the same. And Joe, my other half, and I, we sit there with Barney, and we love watching it. And very often it's to do with poo.
Yes.
Poo is just inherently interesting. I do one of the book, London book, I've ended up doing guided walks, London, guiding people around for various bodies. And TfL organise these walks 3 times a year, and they've got me doing some walks. And it's great fun. They said we deliberately want one aimed at kids, and that is a joy to do, because we start at Big Ben, and I tell them about the speed of sound thing. I think we've done this before. The Big Ben, if you listen to hear it on the radio first, because Radio 4 take the chimes of Big Ben live. If you stand underneath, obviously not at the moment because it's out of action, but if you stand with a radio, you hear it on the radio before you hear it for real. So we can talk about speed of light, speed of sound. And then a little bit further along, we're going along the embankment. If those of you that know London, the Victoria Embankment is where Bazalgette, the great-grandfather of the man who invented Big Brother, basically put in the sewage system. And so then...
That's always the irony, isn't it? That one pumps crap out and one pumps it in.
Hey, you said that, not me.
Let us know if you do any more of these kids' tours, because I'll bring the boys on.
You are welcome along anytime.
They would
you want,
love it.
I think February this
I love... Oh, let me know, because we'll bring them on. I love the fact as well, the fact that... The lies what we would call now fake news can get dropped. The book is about quizzes. The fact that most people think the word quiz comes from an Irishman
the
doing
thing in Dublin,
and he said I can get a new word. He wrote quiz everywhere, and it's not true.
This is why I love Wikipedia. When people find out what you do at parties and they go, "Oh, you," they always go on. You must like spelling, and you must think it's very important to spell and punctuate. I go, no, that's the least important thing about writing. The other thing they always say is, "Oh, you must hate Wikipedia with all this ridiculous fake information that's out on." No, I think Wikipedia is the best corrective to all this stuff because in the old days, if a thing about the famous one is Bob Holness and the saxophone solo on Baker Street.
Yes, of course, yes.
Once that gets into a newspaper or then into a book, it's there. Yeah. Whereas now it's much easier to find out it was started by Stuart McConey, the music journalist who made it up as a laugh. But what is true is that one of the backing singers on We Don't Need Another Hero by Tina Turner is Lawrence Dallaglio, the rugby player. Because he was in a choir at school, and they were the choir booked.
Another one of those is the famous John Lennon quote: "Ringo Starr wasn't even the best drummer in the Beatles." Of course, it wasn't John Lennon; it was Jasper Carrott.
1983.
I didn't have the exact date, but it's delicious because people keep bringing that up, and I hate to be the person that goes, yeah, John didn't actually say that. Because I think Ringo's a great drummer. I will defend him to the death. But I love these fake things that get dropped into
You do have to be careful using them as quiz questions. Yeah. And but there's so much great stuff out there that definitely is true. And also stuff that's just... The fact is incontrovertible. It's how you present it as a question.
By the way, that's a great statement. There's so much stuff that's out there that is true. Yeah,
can't deny it.
You heard it here first, guys.
You wouldn't, based on some 70-year-old American's Twitter feeds, you wouldn't think that to be the case.
There's that great clip that's going around where I'm the most humble person in the world. You don't even know what humble means. I'm the most humble person in the world. It's been brilliant.
He's cropped up but thank God we spotted the typo. Not a typo, just a little error of fact. Yeah. Early on, the Parliamentary Press Gallery quiz that I went to, one of the questions was, and this was being asked in January 2016, Trump hadn't even been nominated then, never mind elected, was who was the only divorced US president ever? By the time the book comes out, Trump has come along and has made it 2 instead of 1. Yeah. Before Trump, there was only 1 divorced US president.
Reagan.
Yes, very
good. The others were widowers, weren't they?
Yes.
Well, some
they'd
of them
remarried after their wives had died, so they hadn't been divorced.
Yeah, but some of them were just married. They weren't all widowers.
No, what I mean is the other ones who'd had more than one wife were widowers.
When you're dealing with high intellects like myself and Mark's, you've got to be very specific, Catherine.
Like Mark, you mean? I'm going to be specific.
Well, that hour's flown by.
Where does it all go? It's mad.
I love it. Give us the answer to was it the Titanic?
Titanic rivets.
Yes.
If you go on, have a guess. If you put all the rivets in the Titanic together, how much would
I'm going to say, I don't know, a ton.
Okay, a ton? Okay.
No, more than a ton.
Well, it's just the rivets. What's a rivet?
80.
What is a rivet? Do you mean like the bolts?
Engineering phone in with... Yeah, they're
big screws.
It's a bolt. Yeah, big screws.
Yeah, a ton.
I reckon 1,000 tons.
Idiot. Go on, Mark.
I can't. I don't know who to look at when I say.
Look at me. Look at the guy who got it right.
1,200 tons.
Oh dear. What's that here?
I don't do old money.
Do you know
what?
I'm gonna blow a little bit more smoke into certain places here with Kath, because the only people who've got that right, or anywhere near right, the only 2 other people who've said 1,000 tons.
Yeah.
John Lloyd, the producer of QI, and John Mitchison, who's co-created QI with John Lloyd. And
But have they got? Have any of them got an album coming out soon? Have they? A serious question. Have they? Because this guy has.
Maybe you should hear it before you boast about it.
The book, I've just tweeted it, and I'll tweet it again a bit
Iain,
later on. It's a joy. I say it's a joy. I've not read it, but honestly, I love your book so much, Mark. They're geeky and they're funny and they're wonderful, and I love the journey.
I love it. At the risk of this sounding like a love-in, I love it when you say that, because you're the sort of person I've got in mind when I'm writing. Not you specifically. I'm not sitting there thinking about you when I write it. I don't want to get this to get creepy.
That would be weird.
But you're the same. You're a sadly late bloke like me.
The name of the weirdo is Mark Mason. The book is Question Time: A Journey Round Britain's Quizzes. I would thoroughly recommend you get it. Christmas is coming up. Get it for Christmas, but then go and explore the other books as well, because they are all Joyce Mark.
And also any other radio presenters that have been promised a copy by Weidenfeld Publicity Department. Kate, get on the case tomorrow.
You're welcome back anytime. You know that. It's an open invitation.
Thank you so much.
Alan and Rick, we will come to you in a bit. 0344 499-1000, this is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more.
Talk Radio.
How cool is he? I mean, I love him. I love him. What an hour. Alan, Rick, stay there. Everybody's welcome to call in, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow, I wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
There we go. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more. And we'll be talking more about that on Thursday as well. Very excited because tomorrow we are going off to see When the Moon is in the Seventh Sun.
I'm going to see some Dinkles.
And Jupiter aligns. It's all you think about is the dicks and fannies in
That's all I know about it. I'm not interested in fannies.
I'm off to see a wonderful piece of theatre, musical theatre, Hair at the Vaults. I'm very excited by it. It's my favourite. I love it. I'm going to see it tomorrow, then going to see it next week, and then going to see it. We're going to go and see it again 3 times. 3 times I'm going to see it. But also the benefit of, just to go back to your point. The benefit of seeing it more than once is the first time you can be a bit, I don't know where to look. Second time you know exactly where to look. Third time you've just got it. You're staring at that spot where it's going to appear, and it just makes life so much easier for the pervert. Bought a suit today. Had to buy a suit today. Boss wants us to go to an awards ceremony next week. We won't win, but needs must. So we're going to go to Leeds to an awards ceremony where we are not. What category are we nominated for?
Best talk presenter. Not breakfast.
So in that case,
it's just you.
What category am I nominated for?
Yeah.
So why are you coming?
Well, they did it kind of as a joint.
Let's be honest, guys. I am the ventriloquist dummy, and Kath has got her hand up my arse. I wouldn't suggest you put it up there tonight because I've got a bit of a dicky tummy.
I can smell.
You'll be watching on Periscope. Shall I tell you why I had to go to the toilet?
Oh, God. Well, you will anyway.
Because this is human nature, okay? When you and Mark left the studio, I farted and I followed through a little bit. This is why we're called the Late Night Alternative, guys. You wouldn't get this on LBC or BBC London. Trust me, I've tried.
So from one mark to another.
Yep. I'm not ashamed, and I'm not too proud to admit that, because it happens and it's a common problem. Guys, if you've ever followed through, 0344 499 1000. We need to talk about this stuff. Okay, we don't talk about this stuff enough.
I think we do.
Through.
I think we do. I think we talk about it plenty.
We possibly do. But I went and bought a suit today, and I was dreading it because I've kind of needed a suit for a while, and the last suits I bought were about. They bought them in Windsor, so it was 5 or 6 years ago, and I can't get into the trousers anymore. Cannot get into the trousers, so I had to get one, and I was just dreading the trying on the trousers. And at one point, I started off with a Paul Smith suit, and at one
they cut those very slim.
Well, this is the thing. I went for a 42. I'm normally a 42 long, and the 42 was tight, so I put on a 44. I thought, God, don't tell me my chest has got that big. But then it was like a bum freezer. I said, this is a very short. He said, oh, that's the style. I said, well, get me a proper suit. Be done with you, man. Get me a proper suit. So then we went off. So I've still got a 42 jacket, so that's great. 42 long, that's great. But the trousers, I've been 34 waist for the last 25 years. And, well, let's just say I tried on a 36 and they were tight. They're going to take them out an inch.
Who's going to know unless they pull you over?
This fat guy!
And look at the label.
This fatty boom boom! This guy's going to know that he's a fatso. It disappointed. Anyway, it's a nice suit. It
fits you well.
It was under. I've got to go and get it next week. They're going to do a little bit of magic on the sleeves and the gut. It's only 250 quid. Which I was prepared to spend a little bit more bunts than that, but it was $250.
But the thing is, a lot of that weight is due to medication, so it's not a permanent state.
Yes, I know.
There's no point spending loads on it.
Yes, I know. I'm being the man from The Godfather now.
Why?
What's his name?
Marlon Brando.
My name is Marlon Brando, and
You come to me on the morning of my daughter's wedding asking for favours.
Who are you trying to be? Because I am the Marlon Brando.
I'm a better Marlon Brando than you.
Shitty Marlon Brando. Your Marlon Brando is shitty. My Marlon Brando is very witty. You're shitty. I'm witty. It's my Marlon Brando.
I think we both know who's shitty around here.
Hey, watch your language.
You started
I was in character. You're just being foul-mouthed. I was in character. You can swear in a school play if you're in character. They just watch it, sunshine.
And smoke. I remember them smoking on stage in a school play once.
All right, mate. Now you're recounting Tommy Boyd stories to me.
No,
I don't want to hear
it. Was a Shakespeare play.
I don't want to lose control. What's that?
Again.
What's the again? What's the Tina Turner song?
I don't want to lose you.
I listened to the lyrics of Private Dancer for the first time the other day. It's a really sad story because I thought the concept behind Private Dancer was that she was so in love with this man that she was saying, it's just me and you. I'm not going to see other guys. I'm in love with you. I'm going to be a private dancer and I'm just going to dance for you and we're going to make love and all of that.
Did you hear the bit about American Express will do nicely?
Well, I thought that was just because it was in the 80s and everyone was spending money. That's what I thought that was. But no, it turns out she's like a single mum and...
Girl gotta make rent.
Well, isn't it? But then there's that new song, isn't there, that's coming out on my new album. What you gonna do with it, mate? Mama gonna love you so long. What's that song? You know the song. Mama gonna love you so long. Biddy bong. What's the... You know the song. You're just being a dick. You know the song I'm talking about.
I want to hear your version of it.
Mama's gonna take you on the school bus. Gotta pay for the bus fare. That song. What is the song where Mama's not got much money? Oh, little girl. I'm trying to think.
It's not Rockabye Baby, is it? It's the other one.
Rockabye, baby, rockabye.
Is it that one?
Oh, Mama's gonna love you. Let's play that. That's a great song, that is. I love that song. It's coming out my new album.
Is it that one, or is there another one?
Rockabye, baby, rockabye. A rockabye, baby. Isn't that the one? Here we go. Let's listen to it.
Is it that one?
Well, tell you what, mate. Why don't you think some swear words? And then,
I always do.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes they
thinking
come
one
out.
now.
Sometimes they come out your mouth.
I'm thinking one now. Look.
Wow, that word, the C word.
No, I never used that one.
Mama gonna love you. Rockabye, baby, rockabye. Oh, she work all day to make her things. Gonna pay for the bus to go to school. But Mama loves you, even though Mama's a hoe. Here we go, this is it. Yeah.
Call it love and devotion.
Yeah.
Call it a mom's adoration.
All the mums that hoeing for their kids. Yeah. Every day she working hard.
Going through frustration. Being Monday.
Being Monday. I've been Monday. On the by the water.
She's gone astray so far.
Oh, she's what? She's a white girl singing. I'm terrible at turning whether it's a white or a black person singing. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's have this. Here we go. Love and devotion. Call it Mum's adoration. Foundation. Special bond of creation. Ha! All the single mums out there hoeing for their kids. Clean Bandit, Shonda Paul, and Marie. She works the nights by the water. She's gone astray so far away from my father's daughter. She just wants a life for her baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's gotta save it. Dilly struggle. Tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you. Tells him your life ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna grow and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I've got to do. So rockabye, baby, rockabye.
Don't look at me.
I'm gonna rock you, rockabye, baby, rockabye. Don't you cry, baby, rockabye, baby, rockabye. I'm gonna rock you, rockabye, baby, don't you cry. Rockabye. I like this bit. Rockabye, rockabye, bye. Sing the mama, what you doing out there? Facing the hard life without no fear. Just so you know that you really care. Cause any obstacle come, you're well prepared. No, mama, you never set tear. Cause you have to set things year after year. You give the youth beyond compare. You find the school for it but spare. In the round back, can't find him nowhere. Steadily your workflow, everything you know, you say, and that's not that.
Now she got a 6-year-old trying to keep
I love this.
him
It's such a sad story. Trying to keep him warm. When he looks her in the eyes, he don't know he's safe.
Don't know he is safe when she
says, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you. So rockabye, baby. This works better if I just sing it. I'm gonna rock you, rockabye, baby, rockabye. You notice I talked and I'm still going to be in perfect time when it comes back. Rockabye, baby, rockabye. I'm gonna rock you. Go perfect time, baby, don't you cry. Yeah, perfect. Bit of bang bang, all right, no. Rockabye, bye, rockabye, bye, bye, rockabye, bye, rockabye, bye, rockabye, rockabye, bye, rockabye, bye, yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, hop, everybody. Hey, oh, rockabye, bye, rockabiddy, biddy, bong, bong.
Now she
Got a 6-year-old, trying to keep him warm, trying to keep out the cold. When he looks in her eyes, he don't know he's safe when she says,
She tells him,
ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my... That's weird. Nobody matters like you. I've got to. Your life ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna grow and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I've got to do. So rockabye, baby, rockabye. I'm gonna rock you, rockabye, baby, don't you cry. Somebody's got you, rockabye, baby, rockabye. I'm gonna rock you, this'll be on my album, don't you cry. No bother cry. rockabye. Lift up your hand, lift it up to the sky. Rockabye, don't bother cry. Rockabye, bye, bye. Bye, rockabye, bye. Rockabye, up to the sky. Rockabye, big rockabye. Rockabye, biddly bong bong. Strings. That bit at the end's a bit boring, but basically that is a great song.
You get the idea there.
That is a great song, and they just don't write songs like that anymore. Social comment songs that really tell what it's like to be a single mum with a 6-year-old boy, and who has to be rocked to sleep because he's got a sleeping disorder. They don't write songs like that anymore, and it's down to people like Shonda Paul and the lady and the Biddy Bong Man to do it. And I say more power to their elbow. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more.
It's electric, it's eclectic, it's always rule-free. It's the Late Night Alternative with that man, Iain Lee. On Talk Radio.
Oh, yes, sir. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 0344 499 1000. Loads of ways you can listen, of course, guys. You can listen on your DABs. You can download the Talk Radio app. Of course, you should go to www.talkradio.co.uk. Let me give you one more. You can watch us this evening. Periscope is up and indeed running. Periscope.tv/Iain Lee. Good evening, Jerry.
Hello.
Hello, Jerry.
Can I say that song you just sang?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Bee Gees backing up.
I'm surprised, Jerry, you've still got Parkinson's after hearing that song. I would have thought it would have cured you.
I want to sing along with it, but I decided not to. Another thing, you were rocking in my chair. Look, I think you should go in a spray-on suit.
You're doing what? I'm struggling to hear you tonight, Jerry, if I'm completely honest.
You should go in a spray-on suit. Spray-on suit.
Oh, what?
Because Scandal gets some publicity. Go in a spray-on suit. Painted suit.
Oh, mate, I'm struggling to hear you tonight, man.
I'm on the wrong phone. If you hear me on the line.
No, it's not the phone, it's you. It's just, you're kind of, I'm struggling to, it's not the landline, dude, it's your voice is not particularly focused this evening.
I'm excited.
Of course you're excited. Who wouldn't? What normal man wouldn't be excited to be talking to me? Of course.
Excited. Keep it. What I was going to say.
Sing it to me, Jerry. Sing it. That worked, didn't it? Sing it to me.
Get a painted suit for Hollywood, tell me. Get a painted suit, cause some controversy, and get some publicity for the show.
A painted suit?
What, like body paint?
Yeah, body paint.
Isn't that funny? We can understand him when he sings. I love that. Yeah, all right. So it looks like I'm wearing a suit, but if you look carefully, you'll see my dick. Hang on, Jerry, sing in the next verse. Go on, Jerry, sing the next verse.
My breakfast award. What has Paul Ross got that you haven't?
Well, Paul Ross is... No, here's the thing. It's a category for people that aren't a breakfast show.
I broke my wrist in 4 places.
Oh, how did you break your wrist in 4 places?
An idiot. I was dancing with a lady.
Sing to me, Jerry, sing to me.
I'm over. Through my arse, pulling that.
You were dancing to the ladies?
And the ladies... The ladies through the classroom exam. It was so exciting. The ladies.
You absolute...
I made them happy.
Predator.
Being smiley for them. Smiley for the old people. Here's how much to smile. I sing a song. I just couldn't break. It really breaks things in.
It does. We've got to get this in the Lancet or in the Beano or something. People need to know we've made a discovery. Jerry, I'm going to cut you off.
No, one thing.
Oh, go on. Sing it.
It's a year since it was on the floor.
You got to sing it.
It's a year since it was on the floor.
Oh, see, a year since you were on the floor. Blimey. Well, I don't know, but we should be celebrating that by recreating the scene. Fall over for us.
Up your bum.
Up your bum, Jerry. Thank you very much indeed.
We should be celebrating he's not still on the floor. It was a close thing for a while, wasn't it?
Well, we've got... this is very exciting. We have an American correspondent on the show, Chuck Winkle. Mm-hmm. And Chuck is going to be filing some reports for us, for the show. And he has news reports. He's an American reporter, and he works for some of the big networks out in America. And he has filed us... I'm just trying to get it to work. The problem, he sent it in a very strange format. He's filed us this report. This is Winkle on America.
Yeah, I'm the cowboy. My name is Chuck Winkle, and I'm a right good reporter on the American News Yes Please Network over here in the United States. A whole chuck-a-moly make man the big border states. UK radio station Talk Radio have asked me to bestow some reports from America's good pond, and I'm duly obliged. So here is my first installment of Winkle on America.
Winkle on America.
First up, John Wayne, I went onto the streets of Kentucky, Washington, goddamn, to get the American opinion of our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump. Excuse me, ma'am, hot dog, I'm Chuck Winkle from UK Network Talk Radio. What on earth do you bloody think of Donald Trump? Be a bit of a sexist pig at times.
I do not think that women should be sexually assaulted in any shape, form, or fashion. They should be respected, period. But with that said, some women live off the zippers of rich men. So therefore, if you put yourself in that position, there's no telling what you're going to get.
Hey up, sir, bloody hell, John Wayne, out the cowboy. What do you reckon to Trump then?
He was a Democrat. He's opened his eyes. Now he's a Republican. He's sorry for it.
Hey up here, Yankee Doodle candle, if ever I saw one. Sir, I see that you're walking by with your nice white hat there and your American flag. God bless America. Could you just lift that lovely hat up, please, partner, and tell me what the bloody hell you think of President Donald Trump?
I thought he's kidding. He said, I want to make you sign, put up a fuss. I was telling back, he's right there you are.
Didn't have a word what you said, but lovely. Well, there you have it, people of the United States of Kingdom. We over here having the right good time, and Trump is proper drill. He even got the lovely haircut. Join me next time for more Winkle on America. God bless y'all.
Absolutely fantastic. Quality's a little bit low. I'm talking about the audio quality.
And that's because it's been shipped over from America.
Yeah. That's because it's been sent from America. So excellent stuff. We'll be having more Winkles on America soon. Let's go to Rick. Rick's been on the line for ages. Good evening, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Rick.
How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you, mate.
I found out originally about the pop quiz.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of... the moment seems to have passed a little bit.
Well, the moments come and go.
Yeah, I got one of the questions wrong, and I was phoning up with an answer to a question. But
Give us your wrong answer.
My wrong answer. When talking about the Paul McCartney song that was inspired by Plane Flight, I thought it was Yesterday.
Well, because Yesterday was famously a dream, wasn't it? Scrambled eggs,
wasn't it? Yeah, so I thought it was maybe that, but yeah, I was pretty on that.
I like
I also had my favourite pop quiz question for you, if you want it.
Yeah, sure.
And that is right. So like for instance, Don McLean wrote American Pie about Buddy Holly.
Yes.
Who did Roberta Flack write Killing Me Softly about?
Bing.
Kath knows.
Don McLean.
Why did you say Don McLean at the start?
I knew anyway.
Well, because I thought, it's a good little teaser.
We know that people...
for people who don't know it...
We know that people write songs about people.
Well, yeah, but I just, Don McLean's it's a good example, isn't it, the American...
Well, no, it's a terrible example, because it gives away the answer to the question.
I'll tell you what, I've asked many, many people that question, and nobody has got it.
In that format?
In that exact format, yeah. I like to sort of tease that in there and actually give him the answer.
Didn't Don McLean beat his wife up?
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
beat his wife up?
Google it. Oh, Google it.
Killing Me Softly.
You know who Don McLean wrote a song about?
Way.
Go on.
Which real-life person. Did
Vincent.
Don McLean? That's right. Vincent who? Not Price.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Vincent.
They said go in America.
It's a whore, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's a bit rude. Seriously, Don McLean, he went to prison about 2 years ago for spousal abuse.
Oh dear.
I'm sure of it. If I've got this wrong, I will be apologising and.
Well, no, you're right.
There we go.
2016.
Another one on the list, isn't it? Long list of.
I'm not going to apologise to a wife beater then,
No.
and also a boring songwriter. Let's be honest.
She's Patricia, his wife, married to him for 30 years, is divorcing him on the grounds of adultery, cruel and abusive treatment.
He went to prison though, didn't he?
Yeah, there is a picture of him with his comb over.
Yeah, boring. One of the most boring. Hey, Rick, this is going to be the phone-in for the last hour and a half of the show, right?
Yeah.
Rock songs about rock.
About rock. Well, there's Kiss, isn't there? God Gave Rock and Roll to You. That's a classic.
God Gave Rock and Roll. Yeah. We'll have that. Yeah, of course.
Bill and Ted.
Yeah. We'll have that. Also, you could argue the Kiss song "Crazy Crazy Nights" is about rock and roll. It is about rock and roll.
Well.
Well, yeah, but it's.
This is our music. It makes us proud.
What about I Wanna Rock and Roll All Day?
There are lyrics in there, aren't there? Yeah.
What I've learnt about Rick is when we're talking, he's not listening.
No, it's okay. And party every night.
Yeah, rock and roll, party. No, that's not about rock. Hang on a second. Rick, shut up, you rude man! Shut up! Rock and roll all day and party every night isn't about rock and roll.
Oh, really?
No, it isn't really. That's just like one of the things they want to do, but it's not about rock and roll. I tell you what, the classic, right, and this is where the phone-in comes from. I was in the car today listening to the soundtrack to The Kids Are All Right by The Who. And The Who song, Long Live Rock. It's about rock. Long live rock, I need it every night. Rock is dead, they say. Long live rock. You know, and it describes a gig being set up. It's a bit silly song, really. And lot of rock bands in the 70s, by the second or third album, they were singing about hotel rooms and aeroplane rides, because that was their lives. It'd gone from the girl they'd fancied when they were 15 to being stuck in a hotel room shagging the women that came and changed the room. Room Service by Kiss. Room service, maybe I could use a meal. Room service,
Gosh.
then do what I feel.
There's a sweet attitude.
So, Rick, I'm going to cut you off.
Yep.
And, so songs about rock, please. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. I am Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Experience the unconventional,
Evening, boss.
the unpredictable, and the completely unorthodox.
Exactly.
With rule-free Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got no internet for the last 4 days.
On Talk Radio.
I said something very rude just before the red light went on there.
I missed it. I had my headphones on.
Okay, well, the people...
Can you write it on?
No, it's not really worth it. So I'm just... it's David Badcock. Evening, David.
Wait, me?
Well, is that your name?
I heard cock, but then you're being really friendly, so I thought it might not be me.
Yeah, it's David Badcock. Nice to talk to you, mate. Always a pleasure to talk to you. How you doing, buddy? Not spoken to you for ages and ages and ages.
Right. Kath, what's happened? Were you rude about me?
No, I don't think... No, I don't know. I didn't hear what he was saying, but...
Mate, it's great to talk to you. What have you got for us this evening?
Right. Well, I've got a story about me pulling myself, but I've also got a song about rock.
Okay.
Well, let's hear the song about rock.
Right. It's the best one you're going to have all night.
You reckon? It's a proud boast.
I'm sure of it.
Okie dokie. I bet it'll be a good one coming from you.
Turn it down, you say. All I want to sing is when I sing, when I sing, I say no. No, 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 no. I want to rock. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. I want to rock. Do-do-do, do-do-do. I want to rock. Do-do-do, do-do-do. 1, 2, rock. Do-do-do. That one.
I don't even know what that song is.
Oh, come on. I'm not sure what it's called.
Is it Nirvana?
No, it's
I don't. Something's wrong with this phone-in because that song isn't about rock.
I want to rock.
Do.
Yeah, but that song isn't about rock.
What's it about them?
Right. Hang on a second. I'm going to educate you guys. We're going to educate you. The Who is a great singles band, a better singles band than they were an album band, right?
Are you playing it?
I'm going to play you a song. This song, right, is about rock. Okay, we're going to listen to it, and then when we come back, David, you're going to let me know if you think your song fits into this. Okay, you ready?
Right.
Okay, here we go.
Story of the scene was changing. Bingo and rock were pushing out X-ray thing. We were the first band to bomb it in the bar and find the distance due to stage 2 fall. Meanwhile, it's getting late at 10 o'clock. Rock is dead, they say. Long live rock. Long live rock.
Okay, so that is a song. If you listen to it, it's about rock. They're not just saying the word rock or rock and roll. It's about rock. Now, David, with that as your base point, do you think the song you sang us fits into the category that I am asking for this evening, rock songs about rock?
Well, I feel a confrontation coming on, so I'm just going to say I was changing a tyre, I squatted down, I farted, I followed through. That was
okay,
oh, dear.
It's just... Let's try Pablo. Good evening, Pablo.
Yeah, bip.
Yeah, bip. Oh. You could have done that cough before you came on air, because that goes right in our ears.
He was saving it.
We've got wet ears.
I tried to manoeuvre the mouthpiece, I do apologise.
No, failed miserably.
Right, no, it was just on the time to change angle.
Yes.
Just as a youth, I had some issues. I had like a total nervous breakdown when I was about 19.
Wowzers, that's an early age. That's an early age to have a breakdown.
There was a few of us at the time. I think there was probably quite a lot of extracurricular activities involved, which may have led to such things.
Yeah.
Obviously I had a couple of friends who stuck by, but a lot of the times at that period, it was quite peculiar.
Well,
so a lot of people kind of drifted off.
Also as well, 19 is a young old age for young men and young women to know what the hell to do if their mate goes, in inverted commas, nuts. It can be scary, it can be upsetting, it can be boring, it can be annoying, it can be all these kind of things. And a lot of young people don't have, I certainly didn't have the vocabulary at 19 to know what to do in a situation if someone around me went like that.
No, definitely, and it was a bit of a bad time as well, because it was when quite a lot of people were at university, because a lot of my friends were quite bookish sorts.
Yes.
So they all went off to universities around the country. So they were all out and about whilst I was convalescing. I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah, convalescing's a good word. They used to send people away, didn't they, to sanatoriums, whether it was a mental breakdown or a physical breakdown or TB or something. Go to a sanatorium, which was... Is this right? It's like a hospital by the sea, but it wasn't really a hospital. You just go there for bed rest. Is that right?
Yeah, and the idea was that fresh air would do you good.
Yeah.
Sit you outside for days. Fresh air and sunshine.
I'd love to go to a sanatorium.
There's a solarium as well, where you'd basically just have a greenhouse where everybody would sit.
Oh, God, I hate... Here's the thing. I hate greenhouses. When you walk into a greenhouse, that horrible, clammy... I can feel a migraine coming on immediately. I'd hate that.
I'm not a fan of the sun myself. But yeah, it was just mainly to say with that, I found that obviously there's different routes to go by, and obviously you don't have to go far to find some issue with the NHS at the minute with funding, etc. Not that they don't do an excellent job, of course.
Oh no, but we'll never forget when we were at the BBC local radio station, you'd hear stories about and generally it was kids that were the worst affected. A kid would have a mental health issue, and the nearest bed was 300 miles away from them. It's a terrible situation.
Could end up being a police station.
Yeah, terrible situation to be in.
Well, that's it. And I believe at the minute, if you do it voluntarily, you've got to wait quite a while for an appointment. So it's essentially sometimes it's just a matter of a section as to whether you can get the help immediately, type of thing. And obviously that's got its own consequences. But I went along the counselling route. I just got a counsellor. And after a little while, just chatting to somebody who was completely disassociated from my life, about my life, it was able to kind of process things and just work out and look after myself a bit better. I am bipolar, and it was a very part of a big downturn. I've had manic and depressive episodes throughout, but I've been on a constant for quite some time. I've worked out how to manage it and keep myself present.
Well,
so I can be aware of any kind of peaks and troughs.
That's a bonus. As we get older, we learn skills and techniques that kind of help us get through it. I'm caning the gym at the moment. I'm not sure how much longer I can sustain it because it's exhausting. But I'm finally doing that thing. Everyone says, "Oh, you should go to the gym." I'll go to the gym. So I'm sort of doing that. But thank you, Pablo.
No worries.
Cheers, my dears. I appreciate that. We'll be talking about this more on Thursday because we are working in association with Time to Change for the next month or so, which is wonderful. So we're going to have some special guests on Thursday show, 11 o'clock on Thursday.
Yeah,
I think 11. We're doing that for an hour or so. But if anyone wants to phone in at any point and talk about that stuff, with this show, guys, and we'll clip that and we'll send that off to the bod so they. But you can call in any time about any of this this mental health stuff, guys. And we got a bit heavy with it about 3 or 4 months ago, and we've kind of pulled it back. And I don't talk about it as much on here as I did, but doesn't mean you can't phone in and talk about it. 0344, you can also call in about nonsense as well, such as rock songs about rock. 0344 499 1000. 1000 is the telephone number. Oh, man, if you've got a Rage Hour Diary, I know you think you're going to do it in the morning. No, you won't. Go and find it now. Get out of bed, go and find it now, and tick Iain Lee, the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio. Thank you.
The Late Night Alternative with that man, Iain Lee. There's no strangers here, just friends you haven't stalked on Facebook yet.
Have never sent my picture to anyone who didn't request it.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Yes.
I think we might have Stephen Page on next week. Email's been going back and forth, and I've sort of been absent-mindedly replying to him. But he's doing a tour. He's going to be doing a tour. I think it starts next week or the week after next, which is fantastic. Speaking of tours, Catherine and I will be appearing at the Queen of Brunswick. No, what's it called? Catherine of Brunswick.
Catherine.
Anyway, it doesn't matter because we're in Brighton on Saturday and it's sold out. I know that. Listen, if anyone has got tickets for that show and can't make it, if you tweet me, Caroline, that was it. We'll retweet them, but it's sold out. So unlucky. And then a couple of weeks after that, we are appearing in Hull at Cardamom 94. Hull at Cardamom 94. It's going to be a small audience, but it's going to be compact. I will be bringing the sellotape, the giant sellotape. And if you want a selfie with it, you can do. That'll be 50p. Pictures of me and Catherine are free. If you want the sellotape, picture of the sellotape, that'll be 50p, please. And all money will be going to my back pocket. So we are in Hull a couple of weeks, and then November the 4th, we are in Wolverhampton, guys. Imagine that. Now, the Luton date, which is in when was the Luton date? December. We might have to move the Luton date because I am an idiot, and the family thing has come up, and it's quite a big deal. It will be the first time in 20 years of show business that I've had to change the date. So we're looking like the Luton show is going to be in January. I think it's
that was due to be the 3rd of December.
Yeah, that was it. I think it's going to be in January. If you've bought tickets, you'll be able to either come. You can either exchange them for tickets on the new date, or you can get your money back. Of course. But just bear with us while we sort that out. And I'm humbly apologetic. It's a big thing, and I kind of. I want to go and I have to go, and I'm an idiot. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Good evening, John.
Hello, Iain. Hello?
Yeah, I said good evening. You said hello. We're in. The conversation's begun. We're in.
Ah, brilliant. I've got the first-time caller, so I'm a little bit sort of...
Oh, God, there's me being stern with you. In that case, I'm going to retract my sternness, and I'm going to be all soft and cuddly with you.
Oh, bless you.
Get to the point, you absolute cretin!
I got a rock song for you.
There we go. Yeah, go on. This is perfect. A sensible call at last, yes.
Fairly sure it'll be a good one. What about AC/DC's Long Way to the Top?
Yeah, beautiful. It's in. It's on the list. It's on the list, John. You are the first caller to actually grasp what's quite a simple concept.
Ah, there you go. All right, I'll probably blow it with this next one.
Uh-oh. He's going double bubble!
Status Quo's rock and roll? Because it's kind of.
But just give me the lyrics. I can't remember.
Oh, bloody hell. No, I can't remember either.
Hang on a minute. So you've just cited... John, listen, it may be your first call, sir, but I'm taking these kid gloves off. You're getting throttled. So you're citing a song that is about rock and roll, but you can't remember any of the words from it.
I can, but it goes on about 12-bar blues.
Come on.
Oh, Christ. I'm nervous, see? I can't do it when I'm nervous.
That didn't mean nothing about you. Phoned up with a Status Quo song, and I've got a soft spot for Status Quo, so I'm hovering, but is it just...
the Quo.
What?
Everybody's got to love the Quo.
I don't love the Quo, but I've got a soft spot for the Quo. You know we have Francis Rossi on the show.
Well, all right.
There you go, you see. You don't love the Quo that much, otherwise you'd have known that.
Well, I would have if I was listening at the time.
Well, no. If you'd have been a Super Quo fan, I can sense if anywhere in the British Isles is broadcasting anything to do with the Monkees, I can just sense it. The vibe kicks in, the antenna pricks up.
Yeah. Well, mine don't work that well anymore.
Oh, is it? I know what you mean.
The brain's gone.
Yeah,
see.
yeah, you go. That's all that
Night
head
shift
banging at
worker.
status. All that head banging at Status Quo concerts.
It could be, actually.
It could
that
be.
And a bit of Motorhead, you see. It's definitely.
Oh, Motorhead were a terrible band.
Oh, no, loved them. Lemmy was my hero when I was little.
When you were little. It's a strange one to have as a kid.
Yeah, well, I was 8 when I first bought their No Sleep Till Hammersmith album.
Yeah, well.
So I grew up listening to them. So it explains a lot, really, with what's wrong with me.
I think it would. But you don't get home from work and go and cook yourself a nice little bit of pasta or a stir fry and put on No Sleep Till Hammersmith on to relax, do you?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Well, when I get home from work, I go to bed. But because I'm at work now.
Right. Here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing about working nights, right? Surely, because people that work normal hours, 9 to 5, if such a thing even exists in 2017, they get home about 7. They have some dinner. They watch the TV. They might read a bit. Might go and so they don't go to bed until, let's say, 11. That's 6 hours after they finish work. But yet, I'll go to bed 45 minutes after I finish work. Isn't that weird? Shouldn't we treat it more like a normal day?
Yeah, no, I do exactly the same, but then I've got to get up and get the kids from school, so I only get about 4 hours sleep a day.
Oh,
and
tough guy.
Then I have to go and get the girls, so...
Tough guy. Well, all right, John, thank you for that, mate. Good call.
Thank you, mate.
Ta-ta. Terrible opening to a call, but I went soft then.
This is his first time.
I'm getting soft in my old age. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Now, I don't know why. This is brilliant, right? And I don't know why this has only got a tiny, tiny paragraph on page 3 of the Sun. I'm not seeing it anywhere else. Guess what Dolly Parton's going to do?
Oh.
This is great. You'll never guess, but have a go.
She's going to open a library.
No. Oh, do you know what? Because she's
a book lady, yeah.
No, but think books.
Okay, she's going to write a book?
Mm-hmm.
No. She's going to... I don't know.
Singer Dolly Parton is to read a CBeebies bedtime story.
Yes!
How cool. I'll watch it.
I will.
How cool is that? That is brilliant. She called it an honour and said she hopes to inspire the CBeebies audience in the UK. Just imagine Dolly Parton saying the word CBeebies.
I mean, she won't inspire the audience. It's really for the mums and dads. The kids will just think, who's this funny lady? But it's a nice thing to do.
The country music star, 71, will read Dog Loves Books by Louise Yates on October 25th. Queen of the Stone Age singer Josh Homme read last week. I like Queen of the Stone Age. I heard one of their songs once and I quite enjoyed it. But that's brilliant. I would watch... Dolly Parton used to have a TV series. It was on Sky when Sky first launched in this country. And not many people had it, and I don't think there was any very little homebrew content. It was mainly American programs, and she had like a sort of chat show where she'd sing songs. I remember watching it at my aunt's once. Common People had Sky in the very late 80s. It was quite common. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people would have it on cable, and people had cable and those horrible giant dishes. And the one I saw, but maybe this happened every week, I don't know, because it seems a bit of a coincidence. The one I saw, she had Kenny on there, and they did Islands in the Stream.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, that was how she started out, didn't she, on Porter Wagner's show, and she ended up eclipsing him.
Yeah.
So she's good, and she's got the gift of the gab. I mean, a lot of her lines she does trot out over and over again, but they're good lines.
Oh, they're I mean, she's fab. Even though I saw her once and she mimed some of the songs in the concert, I thought that's a little bit fruity.
Well,
you know, I paid a lot of money, and she's miming. Come on, guys. I hope she doesn't mime this.
we'll be able to tell.
You never know, do you? But I like that. I'll have some of that. Dear listener, you are listening to me, Iain Lee, the Late Night Alternative, here every weekday, 10 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes we go a bit later. Oh, we went a bit later last night, and I'll tell you what we'll do when we come back. I'll play a tiny little bit of what happened. But not the whole bit, because it goes on for a bit. But we had, because last night's show I felt was a bit flaccid, so we carried on until I thought that we had delivered something a bit better. And boy, oh boy, was it worth sticking around for. And if you stuck around, you'll know what happened. And if you didn't, well, you'll hear a little bit of it. And unusually we're gonna put it out as a podcast. We don't normally do this with the what we call the hashtag radio lock-ins, but we're going to put a bit of it out because I thought it was so special. Give us a call, 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee on Talk Radio, her Catherine Boyle, and with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more.
Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. For the first time this evening, the switchboard is completely bare. We will sit here and talk absolute nonsense. You can chip in with your own or just phone up and have a pop. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
He has made a covenant with the night, and with the darkness he is in agreement.
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Oh, dear listener, this is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more. The switchboard is empty, dear listener. For the first time this evening, we have no calls lined up. That's absolutely fine. That's when I earn my dollar. If you want to give us a call, we've got lots of new listeners, by the way, as well. And if you're waiting for the question, the hook, the group of people that we're going to point our finger at and hate this evening, then I'm afraid that's not how this show works. We're kind of celebratory. I mean, the only thing we will point and laugh at is Nick Knowles' album when it comes out, unless it's brilliant. I mean, judging from what we've heard so far, it's going to be a stinker.
Well, and it will be memorable.
Yes. So we're going to have a launch party when that comes out. But otherwise, we kind of celebrate stuff. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. If you don't know, if you want to phone up and do a heavy political rant, and you know, you're welcome to do that as well. I will. This air conditioning is absolutely knackered, isn't it? Because it is doing my throat. And you mentioned this last night. It is doing my throat. I'm really having to swallow a lot. And when I got home, I had a terrible sore throat last night, which is great for... I know James is losing his voice again, which is great for a broadcasting studio, guys. Who do we speak to to get it done? Dear God. I tend to err on the side of the light and the... Oh, I thought my thumb was going to click then, and I've disappointed. This one will. That one always does. No, this one normally gives a big... There we go. I tend to err on the light and the frothy, but if you want to phone in and do the heavy, you can do. Now... last night we had a lock-in, which means the show normally goes on till 1 o'clock, and sometimes we go on a little bit later if we think the show is going really well. Last night I thought the show was a little bit of a stinker, so I thought I wanted to carry it on to see if we could end on a positive. And we did what we've done a few times recently. We surfed the world radio waves to see what we could find. And someone suggested we go and... I can't remember the name of it.
It was called No Holds Barred Radio. No
Holds Barred. And that we should have a little listen to them and give them a call. And we did. And they were absolutely delightful gentlemen. Johnny Gators is the guy that we spoke to, and a couple of others. And if you were listening last night, you will have heard outside of the conversation. So I would have sounded clear, and they would have sounded like they were on the phone. Well, Matthew Stevenson, the genius that he is, has got the audio from the other side. Is it out as a podcast now?
Yes, it's out.
So you'll get. But here's a little teaser. So this is what happened if you would have heard if you were listening in America.
I don't care if you smoke weed. That's your business, right? Venison, did you ever smoke any weed? See, that's your business, right? I don't care.
I think he's smoking
weed
mean has he smoked weed ever, or has he smoked weed this week yet?
Or Or are you high now?
Long time.
Or are you high now?
Time.
No, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so when I was graduating, this friend of mine came to me and says, and this guy knew all the guys in ROTC. And he told me that I was the only guy in ROTC, even though we were honor bound, that didn't smoke weed.
Did you get a certificate, or you should have gotten an award for that?
I guess. No, in fact, that's what I think. I was like, wait, I don't get shit for this.
So you should have smoked a joint in protest.
Don't smoke drugs, by the way, guys. It's a waste of money.
Right there at the graduation ceremony, yeah.
Yeah, right at the graduation ceremony, take a knee, light up, and there you go. There's your protest.
Exactly.
It would have been a glorious demonstration of.
Here we go.
Right,
here we go.
Who do we have on the line? Hello there.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Hey, man, how you doing? You all right?
We're doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Are we on the radio?
We are on the radio. Now, tell me.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yes. Now, have you ever smoked pot?
Yes, I have, a long time ago, and I don't smoke it anymore.
Okay.
I can't smoke it anymore.
What do you want to? Hey, listen. Can I just say we're on the radio over here. We're in Britain, and you're on talk radio. We're doing a radio show, and we've just been kind of surfing around the radio waves. And someone suggested that we should listen to your show, and that you guys were doing some fun stuff.
Yeah, some of us do fun stuff, and some of us don't do fun stuff. But it's yeah, we're just finding out that Brian here's never smoked pot, but he did own an Atari 2600 at one point in time.
Oh, right, he owned an Atari 2600, one of the greatest machines ever made.
Yeah, I bought one today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it went on, and we had a delightful conversation. And we're gonna maybe do that again next Monday. But do it a bit more organised way. I'll have a chat with Johnny Gators over the weekend, and we'll have a little chat. Well, they're nice people. You're never going to listen to me. I have to say, don't take drugs, kids. But whatever. But don't take drugs, kids. But when they're nice people, very relaxed.
Yeah,
vibe.
And they weren't weird about us phoning in, because some people might get a little bit tense about another radio station trying to muscle in.
Oh, we've had a couple of smaller, can't get much smaller than this, radio stations calling us, haven't we? And,
yeah.
It is a slightly intrusive thing. But the people we've had have kind of tried. This is what it is. The people we've had have tried to drag us into their world, where if you're doing the calling, you have to enter their world. You have to, I'm phoning you, so I'm going to play on your rules.
Yeah.
That's
because the moment
works.
someone feels like you're hijacking their show, they're going to shut you down.
Oh yeah, totally. But we'll get those guys on again, and we'll see. Because I'm going to.
So what? Johnny Gators just retweeted the audio from last night on his Dropbox.
Can you retweet the link so that he's got it as well? Because it might be nice. But because they do their thing on video chat as well, so you can see their show. And I don't know if they're using Google Hangouts or if it's Skype, but you can see their show online. And I'm wondering how we can kind of piggyback on that. It would be nice to do, and I don't want to take up their whole show. Maybe they don't want to. So, Johnny, if you're listening, thinking, who is this asshole? What do you think he can get out? He's not having a piece of my pie no matter what. Terrible accent. But wouldn't it be nice just for like 10, 15 minutes, if they're up for it, and if we could work out how to kind of be part of their video stream, and be part of their show, and maybe some of our callers can talk to them, and maybe some of their callers could talk to us. They used to do old-fashioned link-ups, didn't they? But this seems a much more modern way of doing it. So I'm going to email Johnny, and maybe tomorrow, actually, because I've got nothing planned. I'll send him a little message and just... I think he might be listening now, so good evening, Johnny. Just to see if he's up for it, and if he's not, that's cool. I don't want to, I would feel slightly funny if someone was trying to get a piece of my pie. Of course I would. But it just might be a nice thing to do next Monday, just for 10, 15 minutes.
We just do a link-up.
Do a little link up. If we can make it visual as well, that would be delicious. It would be nice. And I know that what was lovely was a few of our listeners, when our show finished, carried on listening to their show, which I thought was great. And I saw that when I got home and checked Twitter and saw there were maybe a dozen of our kind of regulars were now possibly going to be their regulars. And it would be nice... if we could get a couple of their listeners to be our listeners, because I think from what little I heard of the show, there's an obvious crossover between the people.
One of the other guys, Venison, has just said, "Hey, I just played that on my show."
Hey, what the heck? You see, here we go. And even if nothing comes of it, more than that, we've met some nice people, and it was a lovely thing to do, and they took it in wonderful, wonderful good spirits, and they. There wasn't even the suspicion from them that there might be a hint of meanness.
No.
Maybe we're too cynical. Fair play, we did have quite a bad hour of idiots phoning up using racial...
Was it idiots or idiot?
I think it was two people.
Oh, right.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'll tell you what we'll do as well. I'm going to open my Skype. So if anybody is listening from abroad, you can... It's not a perfect system the way I've got my computer plugged into the computer. But if anybody is listening from abroad, you can Skype... What's the Skype? Hey Rabbit Hole Show. No.
Just Hey Rabbit Hole, isn't it?
No. Hang on a minute. I'll have it written down. I'll have it written down in my notebook of tricks. Hey Rabbit Hole Show, yeah.
Right.
So if you're listening around the world, you can Skype us, Hey Rabbit Hole Show, or you can phone us 0344 499 1000, and we'll just kind of have a nice, relaxed vibe for the next 45 minutes. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle. You're listening to Talk Radio.
Set free your mind. Let your fancy take flight. Conversation gets curiouser by the glow of moonlight.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
So, we'll try this evening. I don't know if anything will come of it. There are two ways you can speak to us. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number, and you phone that up and we'll give you a call back, so it won't cost you much. Or you can Skype us. So I've got Hey Rabbit Hole Show. Hey Rabbit Hole Show, and you can Skype the show, and you can have a look. If you Skype, you can do a video Skype. You can see what's going on. You can do that from anywhere around the world, and it will be free. It will be free. Imagine that. It will be free. Yes, this is the Late Night Alternative. Me and Lee on Talk Radio. Catherine Boyle's over there. I'm very tired. The 4 days in a row I've been to the gym to do classes. Short class today.
What did you do?
Circuits. Was it? I think it was only a half an hour class, but it was flipping hard work.
Intense.
Oh God, it was. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got one booked in tomorrow. I've got nothing else to do tomorrow, so I might just have a lazy day. I don't know. Who knows? I might just have a lazy day.
Well, and then you've got to be in, and we've got a very busy evening.
We're going to go and see Hair, which I'm over the moon about. Absolutely over the bloody moon about.
It'll be my first time.
I love that show. I love it so much. I met a boy. Once upon a looking for Donna. Donna was a psychic. Oh, I worked something out today. I've worked something out. The line in Donna is a 16-year-old virgin. I've worked it out. I've worked out why it's okay for sexy... you know the sexy dressing up as schoolboys and schoolgirls?
Yes.
I've worked out why it's okay. It's fine.
Go on.
It's fine, and I get why it's a thing. I get it.
Go on.
I totally get it. It's fine. For years, I struggled with the sexy schoolgirl, sexy schoolboy, you know, the school days parties and all of that. It was a little bit sexy, and you could buy the outfit. I get it. I've got it. I've worked it out. And it's completely legitimate, okay? Of course, it's because your first sexual stirrings are when you're whatever age, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's what you're looking at. That is this is probably the first thing one of the first things you're going to see when you're aroused.
Bit weird though, like the whole Japanese businessman schoolgirl thing, isn't it?
That's a different thing. I'm not in any way.
So what you're saying is, if you're both dressed up, that's fine.
No. I'm just saying that these kind of back to school parties. That are seen as a little bit of sexy fun, and I think they sell the outfits in Ann Summers, or you could go and buy them in school clothing. I get it. I get it. I get why people would find that sexy, and also why it's okay. Actually, it's because for a long time I thought it was a weird, messed up thing that was a little bit.
It is a bit weird.
No, I don't think it is. I've got my head around it completely.
I mean, I've done it and I think it's a bit weird. Isn't that part of the thrill?
What, you think it's a bit weird?
Yeah.
Well, no, not when you think it's a bit weird because you think it's paedophilic.
No, not because I think it's paedophilic, but we're all pretending to be younger than we are.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Where's the harm in that? Isn't that what we're doing right now? Pretending to be younger than we are.
I am as young as I am.
Well, no, we're pretending. I'm pretending to be younger than 44. Of course I am. Otherwise, a 44-year-old wouldn't be doing this rubbish. We're doing a proper, serious, kind of thing. So I've got it. So it's fine. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you're listening, feel free to dress up as a schoolboy and a schoolgirl. And just go for it. As long as you're adults only,
right, okay.
Obviously.
You get the Iain Lee seal of approval.
Yeah, it's fine.
Crack on.
Because we are all... Here's the thing that people will take out of context, but I'm going to say it. We're all genetically programmed at some point in our life to find children sexually attractive, and that is when we are children ourselves. And the majority of people... God, that AC is awful.
Yeah.
Can we speak to Boss about this? Can you send emails and stuff? The majority of people grow out of that, and generally we find people of the same age, with maybe a window of 5 years either way, sexually arousing. And some people might find significantly older people, some people might find significantly younger, but still within that legal framework. Why am I talking about this? I've got absolutely no idea. Absolutely.
Just a revelation you come to.
Oh, yeah, I worked it out today. 03444991000. You can Skype Hey Rabbit Hole Show. A woman vandalised what she thought was her cheating boyfriend's car, only to discover it was a stranger's. Hey, we went to see Ninjago movie. Really disappointing, I thought. The first Lego movie is genius. The Batman Lego movie I thought was really good, but was a bit too clever for its own good. Law of Diminishing Returns, I believe. Ninjago, I was a bit... And the trailer was brilliant. I mean, there's a funny bit where... Jackie Chan's in it, and you got to love Jackie Chan, although he looks old now. What is he, 72, I think? He looks old. Dyes that hair. Oh, he looks old. But very funny. You got to love Jackie Chan in anything. And... there's a very funny bit. It's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer where just like a giant cat appears, but it's not a giant cat. It's just a cat. The cat just starts walking through Ninjago, and that's funny. That's a funny scene. But overall, I thought they're stretching this franchise a little bit too much, guys. Stretching it a little bit too much, I thought. But we saw a car hit a wall. Well, bump into a wall, and I made a point of going and looking at the car later on. They'd knackered that bumper. They had totally knackered that bumper. And then my wife and one of my children saw another car back into another car, but then just drive off.
Oh, no.
Then they drove off.
Did they grass them up?
No, we didn't. No. I didn't see the incident, so I couldn't be a partial bystander. I don't know if there was any damage. My wife seemed to think that there may be some damage, but that's their conscience. They got to deal with that. I'm not, A woman vandalised. 0344 499 1000, by the way, or you can Skype Hey Rabbit Hole Show from anywhere around the world. A woman vandalised what she thought was her cheating boyfriend's car, only to discover it was a stranger's. Christine Ann Potton tore off the rear wiper. Why am I saying tore funny? Tore. How would you say tore?
Tour.
I'm saying it funny, aren't I?
You're saying like tour.
Tour.
Like on tour.
Tour. Hang on, tour. You say on tour, just like tour.
Tour. I say different.
You're saying tour as in Glastonbury. You're saying Glastonbury tour.
Tour it off.
You're saying
we're going on tour.
You're saying Glastonbury tour, the mound. T-O-R. You're saying tour. No, hang on.
I think you're saying it.
You're saying tour. T-O-R.
Tour.
Hey, me and the guys are going to go on tour.
Me and the guys are going to go on tour.
Yeah, tour.
But I tore it off.
On tour. She tore.
Yeah.
Christine Ann Potton tore off the... Why can't I say that word? What is wrong with this? This is nuts.
Have you been hypnotised?
Many, many times.
Well, that'll be it.
Have you ever been hypnotised?
Nope.
Oh, I love it. It's like being stoned, but without the cloudiness of thought. You're very focused. Here's the thing. I used to be a stage hypnotist. I can still do it. And I've been hypnotised, I don't know, maybe 100 times in my life, right? And here's the thing.
Does a little bit of your soul get ruined every time they do it?
No, mate, no. And here's the thing. You know exactly what's going on. You it's this weird partnership you enter with the hypnotist, right? Basically, you can only really focus. You're in a very relaxed state, okay? And you can only really focus on one thing at a time. So with the there is nothing funnier. I'll see if I can find a video of it. I've got videos of me doing it and me having it done to me. Hang on a minute. Let's see if we can find... Okay. There's nothing funnier, I think, than someone being told to forget the number 7.
Okay.
I love it. This is Paul McKenna doing it.
Talk to this lady here. Hello.
I love Paul McKenna, by the way.
Treva, I wonder if I could ask you to just close your eyes and sleep and relax. And I'd like you, in just a moment, to forget the number 7. Now, what's the point of this? Look, if we can forget something that's as fundamental as a number that we use pretty much every day, then we can forget to overeat, or we can forget to feel bad about ourselves. I'd like you to forget the number 7 just for the purpose of this demonstration for a few minutes, so you'll be able to count and say and think all the other numbers, but you can't count, say, think the number 7. So, eyes open, wide awake. Treva, how many fingers do you have?
10.
10. Let's count them, shall we? If you just put your hands out, let's count them together, shall we?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I love it. I love it. Let's just check this. How many have we got on this hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 and 5 is 10. But let's just check again, shall we? 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
There we go. 11.
I love it. I just think it's wonderful. And the thing is, as well, when you're that person who forgets the number 7, you're slightly confused because what you're saying is making sense to you.
Like in a dream?
It's kind of like that, but you know what's going on, and you're just really focused on what the hypnotist is saying to you. That's the thing. So what he says is true. But here's the thing, right? You can't go out and when you wake up, you're going to go and murder the president. It doesn't work like that, because I've been hypnotised and told to do stuff, and part of me's gone, oh, I don't want to do that. And so you just don't do it. I end up just kind of sitting there a bit. And a good stage hypnotist will realise quite quickly that person ain't going to do it, and they move on and go to someone else. I don't. Can you still do stage hypnotism in this country? I know the law's got very tight around it, rightfully so. But I love it. I love a good stage hypnotist. It's just the funniest thing. The best thing. I used to do it. I used to work in the Canary, gave me my first break in TV. My summer job in my second year at university was writing for his TV show. Incredible days. Christine Ann Potton tore off the rear wiper and door trim and kicked off the driver's mirror. A neighbour, woken by the commotion, opened his window and shouted, "That's weird," and shouted, "That's not your boyfriend's car."
Like he would know that that's what she was doing.
What the heck? Drunken Potton, 38, staggered home but left a trail of blood.
Oh.
After cutting herself in the attack on the silver Peugeot 307. Police were called and she answered the door with her finger dripping with blood and said, "I'm a naughty girl, aren't I?"
Oh, my.
The car's owner, Anita Meek, 47, of Yeovil, Somerset, said the attack happened a week before she was due to drive to Torquay, the setting of 70s sitcom Basil Fawlty Towers, where Basil famously beat up his car.
That's a reach, isn't it?
She said, "We had to spend the whole holiday driving around with our wing mirror held on by duct tape. I've never met or spoken to her." Potton from Sturminster, Newton, Dorset, was given a 6-month conditional discharge and ordered to pay £336 in compensation. Oh, well, these things happen.
Gosh, what had he done?
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Hey Rabbit Hole Show is the Skype. Just for the next 30 minutes or so, this is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio. And with our good friends, Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more.
Experience the unconventional.
Hello?
The unpredictable.
Don't you think that's a bit weird?
And the completely unorthodox.
It was my birthday.
With rule-free Iain Lee.
I was just trying to generate a bit of content.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock, hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can Skype. Just for tonight, I've got my computer plugged in. Hey Rabbit Hole Show. Hi, says Chris on the email. Morrissey releases a new album on November the 17th. The first single from the album, Spent the Day in Bed, is, in my opinion, excellent. I love Morrissey's music. I don't love Morrissey the man. Cheers. Thanks.
He is a problematic character.
Oh, is he a racist?
He's an awkward sod. I think we can definitely agree that.
We can definitely say that. But, I mean, he was on some show the other day joking about Anne-Marie Waters not becoming leader of UKIP. Now, she's a thoroughly unpleasant piece of work. Racist? It could be argued she is. And me saying that doesn't mean that I am anti-Islamic extremism. Of course I'm anti-Islamic extremism. I'm anti-extremism. I'm also anti-racist. And I'm anti-arseholes that try and divide this country more than it already is. But Morrissey apparently expressed disappointment that she didn't win for UKIP. Now, it was either a very cleverly worded joke or it was... He meant it. It was one of the two.
He's dry and he's provocative, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell with him.
He's been associated... We just missed a call there from one of our friends in America, the Beyond Radio Network, and I'm just calling them back. We just missed... Because I've not got me... Let me just send him a message. Call me back. I've not got my thing. But he's been accused of being a racist before, hasn't he? And I just wonder how close to the truth that actually is.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know, because I don't know how much of what he says he means and how much he just does to mess with people.
Hello, America. Oh,
hello.
Is that this is the thing, you guys. You always try and do a British accent. And your British accent sucks, man. Let's just say I'm going to take you to the Bronx and shoot you.
I wasn't doing a British accent.
Oh, that's how you speak?
I'm just being pleasant and saying hello.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Oh, well, let's see. First of all, let's plug in the headphones.
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you better now.
That's how we do these things. So, listen, so you're one of the dudes that we spoke to last night?
Yes, I am.
Now, give us your name.
Venison88.
Venison. There we go.
Venison, like the deer.
Venison. Oh, there we go. Okay, fine. Yeah. Venison 88. I like it.
I tried looking up an AIM name. The things I picked, were taken.
Yeah.
And I froze like a deer in headlights. And I said, "Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Let me put that."
You sound. This is wonderful because I haven't spoken to someone this drunk for a long time, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I kind of went that way. The last hour and a half of the show, I decided to drink my vodka and Mountain Dew on an empty stomach.
Hey, listen. So you're on air now, yeah?
Yep.
Years and years ago, over in this country, Venison, I did a TV show called The 11 O'Clock Show, okay? And it was where Ricky Gervais started and Ali G and all of that. And it was quite provocative. And they tried this feature 3 or 4 times. And each time, the head of the TV channel, Channel 4, said, "You cannot put this on air." And what it was they would get 3 people absolutely steaming drunk. I mean, even more drunk than you, Venison, right? And they would then be interviewed for the show, right? And film. And one woman puked up, one guy collapsed, and it was hilarious. But the channel, even Channel 4, and anyone who remembers Channel 4 in the 90s, they did some crazy stuff. They went, "You can't do that." But you're doing this on your show.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I do this quite often sometimes.
Have you got...
quit back in the day when I had money and availability.
Yeah.
I was stoned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, would you say that you've got a problem? The problem is you can't afford weed anymore, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Plus, also, I got nowhere to find it.
Yeah, well, you don't. This is the thing. You don't have a connection. Well, listen. I used to smoke a lot of drugs about 13 years ago, and I knocked all that stuff on the head. I didn't get Jesus or anything. Don't panic. But I just got wise and a bit sober. So tell me, go on
about that.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I've noticed something.
Yeah,
I've noticed that, with the situation I'm in, since early 2000s.
Yeah.
I stopped because of various things.
Yeah.
Okay, but the entire time I was stoned, I was having a great life.
No, you weren't, man.
Money was coming in. I knew what I was doing. I'm an electronics technician.
Okay.
Yeah, my speech is a little slurred because, unfortunately, I had a couple strokes a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay, right, okay. So that's not the booze. That's not the booze that's slurring things.
Partially.
Hey, booze plus stroke times 2 equals what we've got now.
Yeah, pretty much.
But hang on, so why did you stop smoking weed then, man?
Well, like I said, because I was stuck here.
Yeah.
I had no car left, and everybody else stopped. And there were no sources. Everybody was doing coke. I was like, oh, no.
You never went down that route?
Well, maybe a little bit, but no.
Coke is the biggest waste of money. It's just awful. But because I thought... Go on.
It had one advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I want to explain it or not.
Then don't, for good... Oh, what, what, the sex thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could keep going for a week. Anyway, basically, but don't, I've got to say, because we've got slightly different rules over here. I've got to say, Venison, don't. We're joking about these hard drugs. Honestly, coke is the biggest waste of money and the most miserable time. But I thought, listen, you say you were having a good time when you were smoking, and listen, I was working, I was earning, I was on the telly when I was smoking weed, and I was smoking a lot of it. But looking back, I feel I could have achieved so much more. So much of my life was spent on the sofa, watching TV, doing nothing.
Not us.
Really?
Oh, no. We went out, We went out and acted crazy.
Oh.
We had a fantastic time.
I couldn't be bothered.
But, and ever since then, I'll tell you something. Ever since then, ever since I stopped, all the good ideas stopped.
No, that's not true, man. That is not true. I've had the best ideas since I started. I do buy a little bit into that. Maybe early on there's a little bit of creativity that can perhaps be... But I think that window is wafer thin.
It depends on the person. Because, I see people who just sit on the couch and watch TV and just go, bah.
Yeah.
But some of us, do get the creativity. Let it go through. I have found some incredible problems, in the electronics field that I solved that people were like, how'd you do that? Do
you know what? We're having this conversation. If you've got kids listening, we're going to talk about drugs, and we're going to talk about drugs in quite an honest way. So you may want to switch your kids. You may want to switch your kids off. You may want to not let them listen to it, because we're going to kind of talk about, because these things happen. But this is not in any way an endorsement of any drugs. We're not encouraging you. I'm not saying good or bad. But you mentioned being an electrician. I heard a really interesting programme, I think it was on Radio 4, which is quite high and mighty over here, Venison, where someone was suggesting that it would be wonderful for the world's greatest physicists and computer technicians to take LSD. Because they thought that the explanation was, and a couple of physicists said, we have taken it and it has changed. We have been able to solve certain problems we couldn't grasp before because it made us see things in a different way. And I just wondered if that was something that you had done and if that had had any influence on your electrical career.
LSD? No. Only once, because somebody brought someone around and said, you got to try this. I tried one, had an interesting night, although we did sit in the basement, and we had some colored sand, which we spread on the floor, put a black light on it, and said, wow, man, the galaxy.
That! It reminds me of 1993. Well done. But don't do drugs. Hey, listen, man, tell me about this. So tell me about your network, because I don't quite understand what it is. A listener last night just said, hey, you should check these guys out and maybe you can phone them up. So tell me what this thing is.
Okay, well, not so much, the other network, but the one I'm on now is called TBRN, the Beyond Radio Network.
Right.
And, we're pretty much, comedy orientated.
Yeah.
Sometimes technical things, because the owner of this, the owner of the network, was pretty high into synthesizer teaching.
Wow.
I love it. And and that's the thing. And the rest of us are just plain idiots.
So I got that. You didn't need to explain that, buddy. So how does it work? Is it online only? Can people listen to it on like FM or AM? How do people get it?
No. There's no way you could listen to this on terrestrial radio.
Right. So it's online.
We're too out there. We're too street.
And is it 24/7 programming?
No. We wish we had that many people, to do 24/7, but we have automation.
Yeah. Okay. So what, pre-recorded shows?
Yeah. Shows that we already did, and then we repeat them in the automation, for those people who miss stuff.
I love it. I absolutely, honestly, man, I love it. And so the show that we called yesterday, No Holds Barred, that goes out on the Beyond Radio Network.
No, they're a separate network. But they do the same thing.
Okay, this is incredible. I don't think we've got anything like this over here, have we, Kath? I don't know.
If we do, then I've certainly not heard of it.
No,
maybe something that will happen in the future.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be someone doing a smaller version of this somewhere, I guess, online. But
yeah,
to be doing
basically. It comes down to this.
Yeah.
It comes down to this. Basically, you have people that want to do a radio show, normal, average people.
Yeah.
That might have something, might be funny or do whatever. and they say, "Hey, can I do a show?" Boom, they're on.
I love it.
It's just normal people doing crazy stuff.
And they're the people I want to listen to. I don't over here, Venison. There's a bit of a trend at the moment for giving failed politicians radio shows. I don't want to hear those guys. I want to hear.
We've heard them enough.
Oh,
gosh.
exactly. I want to hear a stoner who's had 2 strokes. I want to hear the dudes that we were speaking to last night. I want to hear people talking.
Yeah, you got that. One of our best shows. Another one of our best shows over here is called the. Mouth muscles.
Do it.
Do this right. Digital.
Go on.
Digital domain. Online radio show.
The Digital Domain Online Radio Show.
Yep, comes on Friday nights after my show at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
By 2 people, Nick and Bob, and these guys are nutcases.
Hang on, what did you say they were called?
Nick and Bob.
I thought you said Vic and Bob. We have some very famous comedians over here called Vic and Bob, and I thought that would just be that'd be too much of a coincidence. Too much of a. And do you people call into your show? Do they, Venison?
Oh yes, they can call in by Skype, or if they're able to get the line working, they can call in by phone number.
Hey, listen, man, we're going to have to go in a second because I've got to do a little bit of business here and pay the rent and do some things and bits and pieces. How much longer today is your show going on for?
To tell you the truth, I was supposed to be over by 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But, there's nobody on after me. So I'm kind of like going on until I can't take it no more.
Right. Okay. Now listen, because we're going to finish in 15 minutes, and I'm going to suggest politely that anybody who's enjoying my show goes over to Venison and not only listens, but give him a call and take part, because I know what a thrill it is when you start getting people from around the world. So tell me, and I'll tweet it as well, Venison. Tell me how people can listen to your show now.
Okay, the easiest way, without going through a bunch of numbers, is to go to tbrn.net and hit the listen link.
tbrn.net?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to have a look at this. There we go. Right. I'm going to tweet that, Venison, and I'm going to, hopefully, you might get some of our nice listeners. You might get some of our nasty ones as well.
Apologies for that in advance.
We've got a few arseholes, but hopefully you'll get some nice people listening, and they might even call in, mate. And listen, I'm only ending just because I've got to do some kind of commercials and some stuff like that. Yeah. But, we're going to stay in touch, and we're going to try and sort out. We're going to try and sort out a bigger crossover with you guys.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like I said, though, if you try to Skype in at TBRN Live, you try to Skype in and it says I'm not available, tweet on Twitter. Tweet on Twitter and let me know, and I'll call you.
Give us the Twitter handle again, because I'm just doing a tweet now, Venison.
TBRN Live.
TBRN Live. All right, beautiful. Hey, nice one, man. It's really nice to talk to you. I'm so glad that we've made contact with each other, and we will be speaking again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's National Mental Health Day.
Yeah,
and so I thought about this.
Good. Nice to speak to you, brother. Take care, and we'll speak soon. Thank you, man.
Have fun.
There we go. What a nice man. What a nice bloke. I love it. I'm really late for the ads. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio with Time to Change.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Hey, Rabbit Hole Show, if you want to Skype. This gentleman was just Skyping us, so let's give them a call and see if he's there. Russell. This is Russell. Oh, now he's not answering, eh? He's ringing all through the adverts like a pudding, and now he's bottled it. Come on, Russ. Come on, big Russ. Russell. Call me back.
Russell, honestly.
Russell,
hard to get.
He's online. Russell, I know you're online. Come on. Give us a call. Call me now. So.
Talk to the Anthony Hopkins about that.
No, Anthony Hopkins. Oh, magic. As that magic, there's a film he was in about a ventriloquist dummy. So it's all tying up, because he mentioned ventriloquist dummies earlier, and it's all tying up because he was in the film. But magic! Oh, ventriloquist dummy killed me, he did. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, bloody hell, they don't like it up 'em. Let's have a little look, see. Oh, it's nearly the end of the show, look.
It is, isn't it?
Russell's online. Right, here we go. Hey!
Here's Russell.
Here's Russell.
Hello, can you hear me?
Kind of.
Yeah, I'm driving. I'm in, where am I? I'm in country Victoria in Australia, and I've got you on a hands-free kit in the car.
Look at this. This is the future, man. This is incredible. How you doing, Russell?
It's the future. It's 10 to 11 on tomorrow for you. No, for me. What am I day? It's Wednesday for me, so...
Wowzers.
Yeah, I'm in the future.
And what's it like? Has there been a nuclear war yet?
No, but it's funny, Australia's in the future, but in the past. And I'm one of these crazy English people who can't... I lived over here for 6 years, and I can't let go of a few things like English TV and English radio, so...
what the hell are you doing in Australia? What are you doing in Australia, man?
Well, my wife was an Australian. I met her in London 6 years ago, and then we moved over here, about 6 years ago, and... working for the federal government. Boo.
Wowzers. That's a big thing to move back for love. Was there any? There must have been a part of you that thought, I don't really want to go.
Look, I've been through a few life-changing things. A few things that happened when I was back in England, and I thought, why not? Look, it's the same as a lot of people. I miss friends and family. But you kind of work out who your friends are through, like the first year I was over here, got like hundreds of messages on Facebook, and now I get none. So
really?
You sort of work out who your friends are and who you keep in contact with.
Yeah.
So I probably speak to my parents more now than I ever did when I lived 5 minutes down the road, because they want to know what's going on in my life.
But don't you miss like I've got to go in a minute, 'cause we're nearly at the end. But don't you miss like having a Sunday roast cooked by Mum and stuff?
Yes, that's the kind of things you miss.
Yeah.
And going back to your mum's house and acting like a teenager.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do miss that. But there's other things that are better here, like, I don't know, the weather, I guess.
Well,
That's probably an English thing to say.
The wife situation is better there, surely?
Yes, your wife is over there, Russell. Come on now.
Yes, she's in Australia. She's from Adelaide, but we moved to Melbourne. And look, I listen to you every day when I'm driving,
Oh,
so
bless
I thought
you,
I'd
man.
give you a call.
Well, listen, the show is coming to an end, Russell. I'm so glad you've listened. I might have the Skype open a bit more. We might play around with the Skype, because I think it could be a good way to get some...
That's easier for me, especially when I'm driving. So,
Dude,
brilliant.
listen, we're going to go. Nice to talk to you, mate. We'll speak again soon. Thanks for calling.
Cool. Have
Bye-bye.
a good day.
There we go. Well, the Skype thing seemed to work.
Yeah.
Do we? Well, I tell you what. Tomorrow, we will. Well, we've got. Who we got on tomorrow? Johnny Rogan. Johnny Rogan, and then for the rest of the show, we'll have the Skype open as well. Maybe we'll get some more international calls. That'll be nice. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Catherine. That is it for another day. Dear listener, don't forget to go and download the podcast. This has been the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio with Time to Change. 1 in 4 of us will fight a mental health problem this year. Having a mate in your corner can make all the difference. Search Time to Change to find out more. Don't forget, download the podcasts, or you check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/Iain Lee. Ta-ta.